One B rush.
Oh, this is so obnoxious.
No, I'm gonna have to mute them. I'm gonna have to mute them.
He gets steps on B.
Noise B.
Yeah, on B side, I'm pushing it. One towards bench.
Short
Tap it in.
Dead one. One more side. Side.
I'm pushing. Nice,
Around
right,
cage,
Tom.
man. Nice. Triple nades. Out.
2-8.
Big nades. He's one.
Yeah, smoke window. No! They're mid.
2 mid. Nice smoke, thank you. Escaped.
Good
Flashing the smoke. Reloading.
Nice, Harry.
Out. Both there. One powers 2.
Maybe flank.
Jungle.
Nice.
He's a boomer. Come on!
Nice. 1 HP.
I got us on. Nice! Let's go! Harry, please don't scream again.
Nothing AA's, but
50.
Half HP B rush. Still apartments. AK-47 acquired.
Nice try.
Jungle, he is all too.
Ram could be out Tetris. I don't have vision.
Ooh.
Nice, Chad. Good half. Well played. Oh my god. Look at the despair on Harry's face. He can't
Lots
believe
of
what's
pressure here.
happening.
Lots of pressure here.
Out 10.
One middle. One triple.
Default.
Yeah, close.
CT.
Oh!
Unlucky.
I got jammed on the wall. My boomer movement map.
Two mid.
Where?
Two mid.
Cool shotgun. Rush one more.
B. B plant. Ah, backside. Coming left.
Let's go!
Ooh, nice try.
Right, mouse 2 and knife.
Oh no, I'm not a thing I want to be. How the fuck am I meant to hide as this? Okay. This is fine. I'm running!
Oh dear.
You're dead, no? I thought I killed you. Okay.
I'm dead, I died in one bullet.
I just saw a giant fucking tree running into the catacombs.
The moment I
Okay.
saw I was a tree, I'm like, well, this is fucked, isn't it? Like...
It's quite
Damn it.
Fuck, I was too suspicious.
It just kept going that
Before
The torch just lasted forever, bro.
Trace is doing Torna overpass right now.
Trace! What are you doing, dude? I'm trying to get out. I know the jig's up. I never suspect it. Yeah, but oh dear, there's no way.
Oh!
I've been outdone. Can we say that? I have been outdone.
I was about to fucking
That's the worst.
Trace was just running around as a balloon for half of it. I couldn't believe it. He was a balloon.
Trace, are you questioning your existence right now?
Yeah, I have been since we started this round.
Is that
I just saw Alex jump out of his skin.
Is that steel?
Oh.
Imagine none of us go down here.
Dude,
This is
Trace
ridiculous.
no
Trace is
one?
having trouble.
walk away. Honestly, I think Stunner is his own worst enemy. I don't even think I'm concerned.
Second.
Trace, you've played Overpass before, right?
Shut the hell
It's
up.
like...
Would you stop talking?
The loudest motherfuckers.
Where are you guys? So
Dude, I was a whole bench, and you just ran right past me like 3 times.
Pardon me.
One down.
Yeet!
Down.
He looked very suspiciously at my Patrick Grass. Oh, Harry, not bad, man. I'm actually quite impressed.
Right?
Yeah, that's nice work, actually. Really nice.
Yeah, he just cosplayed it himself, basically.
I feel like I'm getting juked here by Hugo.
I haven't moved since the freeze time. Easy win, Harry. Good start.
Good shit, Hugo. We're the best
done.
trash
Yeah.
I've ever seen, baby.
All right.
No.
No. You sound very close, mate. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! I just random knifed you! I random knifed you! That was not on purpose.
Wait, Harry, were you the dollar bills?
Why are you all long, boys? Why are you all long?
Dude, Hugo's cracked.
Yeah, I just swung all three of you on long. I don't like this. Oh, it won't let me open the shop now. There we go.
Oh.
I know I'm close. I can hear him here,
He's
but
somewhere.
am I
like-
blind?
Not even.
Oh.
Not even. No.
He's like 10,000 miles away, I think.
Y'all are trolling me right now. Oh! Shooting up
Why?
easy
Dude,
to
I was
win.
even specking Chad. I didn't even know
Dude, how
where
did
he
the grenade
was.
not kill you? I
was
dropped
the
it right
rocks.
there.
I was the
Yeah.
rock.
Very
was
well
the
played.
rocks.
Very well played.
What's up, guys? I'm currently sat next to Bartin, Taco and Lato. We've got Damao and Phelps next door, and it's time for some hard-hitting journalism. Tell me anything interesting about Damao.
He forgot his backpack on Starbucks.
Okay.
We got it.
So
But he didn't know. We tried to give him tips like I was, guys, make sure you have your passports and wallets and backpacks.
and he still didn't realise.
Yeah, he didn't realize.
How does it feel to rely on your team to survive each day? Yeah?
I can see his face. He likes to punch tables, I mean, not in a negative
Punch
way.
tables?
But in a positive way. Let's go!
Okay. You're constantly punching things.
And glass tables.
Did he actually punch a glass table?
We have glass tables in our gaming house.
Okay, especially glass tables. Why do you do this? What's the first thing that comes to mind that's odd about Phelps?
He's too quiet.
You know exactly how this game works. It's creepy and is scaring Bartin. No, actually, let's not make it Bartin, let's make it Damao, because they're sitting next to each other. Yeah. It's creepy.
You are a genius, pal.
Yeah. Are you hiding something from us?
He's really, really aggressive player.
Your strategy revolves around aggression.
When will you stop pressing W?
Yeah, when will you stop pressing? There we go. Perfect. Guys, let's head next door and see what's up. Alex,
Yes.
some great questions here.
I think both players should be pretty worried.
Okay, any first victims you'd recommend?
I would go with Damao first, yeah.
All right. Damao, yesterday your team had to save you because you'd forgotten your backpack. How does it feel as the baby of the group that just turned 18 to rely on your team to survive each day?
I mean, it's hard for them, but they make my life easier, you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
help
you
me out.
pay them back with frags.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
two-way relationship.
Exactly, yeah, it's like a team, you know? A
Yeah,
teamwork.
you get, you take, you give.
Yeah, exactly.
You're constantly punching things, especially glass tables. That sounds dangerous. Why do you do this?
I need to give
Express.
the energy for my teammates. So if the table is like a glass, I need to punch.
So, Phelps, you're too quiet. It's creepy. And Taco says it scares Damao. Are you hiding something from us?
No.
No?
No, trust me.
No?
No.
Not a dark past we need to know about?
I'm focal, guys, right?
Focus.
Yeah. That's why I'm so quiet. But I don't have that dark past or something.
You're not going to tell us where the bodies are buried, Phelps?
No.
Sure?
Yeah.
Phelps, all of your strategies for us revolve around aggression and rushing B. When will you stop holding W?
Because I'm the only aggressive player this team, right? So I try to create a strat for this team is going to...
Liar.
No. That's the new culture, right?
Yeah.
So we need to create a strat for do this team aggressive a little bit.
Okay, good answer. Well, I actually feel like I've learned something. Thanks for your questions as well.
I think Liquid's just lacking time and reps of international Counter-Strike. At the moment, this is another odd mix, but Liquid always seemed to have an odd mix. When this team was at its prime, they didn't even have a star AWPer. They've always had some form of a European import, and this mix of players, you look at Lige, NAF, and OC as the star trio, and then Shox and Nitro to kind of refine their positions in the team. That's going to take time. So I think time and the reps of European Counter-Strike is what Liquid need to get the most.
Shox going to Liquid and being like a little spy from behind enemy lines, I think he's definitely going to provide a wealth of experience. Experience is kind of an unquantifiable in terms of how you're able to communicate it.
I believe what I can try to bring from the European side is something sometimes more structured about the game and trying to actually fit like individual talent into like a team system. This is what I'm trying, I would say, like to give as tips overall. I think it's definitely like the next step for the NA teams.
There's a lot of expectation because it's Shox. You know, Shox is one of those kind of legendary names that will echo through the halls of Counter-Strike, and I think seeing him go not only to a new team but go international, go overseas, cross continents, it's encouraging in terms of seeing how much he wants to continue to sacrifice and pursue this game for the highest level. And I think it's still undetermined as to how much he can contribute still in this competitive environment with all these new pieces. And I just think it's a question of, what can Shox do individually, but more importantly, how well versed is he at imparting all of his knowledge into the younger boys in the roster?
I think my experience and just in general, like I think North America kind of lacks like in-game leaders across like Valorant, Counter-Strike, like whatever game. I feel like the experience I had from Valorant actually helps a little bit because just building a new team, because we had to build our team from scratch essentially. It was really hard, but we're finally like feeling like a lot of progress as a team, and we're feeling like at the top of our game with this iteration of the lineup. Obviously, I've had multiple teammates that are not American in Counter-Strike specifically, and it's always nice to have that kind of the other perspective of things, and having Shox on the team definitely helps with that team dynamic for sure. He's been a huge help, so it's going to take some time, but I think we're feeling really good right now.
I think saying that Valorant would have added to Nitro's experience tank doesn't really take in mind that the games, even though they're both FPS, are completely different. I think the only thing that Valorant would have done for Nitro is bring back his love for Counter-Strike and his passion for the game. So that right there is the biggest positive and the biggest takeaway, that he has that hunger again to compete in CS, which is where he did his absolute best work.
Our expectations for Liquid should be at least qualifying, if not first place. I think players are fair enough probably going to be, if in form, a threat to Liquid's first place and getting the bye to the quarters. But if they're not in the top three, I think something's gone disastrously wrong.
I think it's a curious question to ask what to expect from this team, because I've been looking at the social medias and they've all been getting in a day before the event, maybe two. So for them, they're still going to be battling that whole jet lag situation. They're not going to be boot camping. They're not going to be prepped and ready for European Counter-Strike. Sure, the group on paper looks like it could be an easy one, but if you take a look at how some of these other groups that EPL have panned on out, nothing is simple here. So in terms of them being a favorite to go through, I'd say they're on the cusp. I'd say there's only one favorite for this group to go through, and that's players. Everybody else, their position is wide open.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to ESL Pro League Season 15. Up next, we have our final best of three of the day, and it's Liquid versus GODSENT. My name is Parla. I'm still joined by Blair and Alan. Guys, how was your time off? We had, 20 minutes backstage. What did you guys get up to?
I really enjoyed the meal you cooked up for us there, Parla. It was fantastic. I mean, who needs barbecue when we got you?
What can I say? We just spend all day filming Instagram content here between the games, and if you haven't, you should go and check it out.
Yeah, at ESLCS on Instagram. Guys, it wouldn't be a complete, Pro League event without casters, and we've had a little switch up from Chatty B and Machini TV, and now we can welcome in Daddy Anders, and of course, the snake himself that left us. he left hashtag the night. Wait a second. Let's forget my vitriol for Maui Snake and just notice what's happening on screen. Okay, yeah, see, that's a perfect example. Maui left us, and he feels like he's made it for real, because he's casting with one of the greatest casters of all time, and he's off in a different city. What's that about, man?
Listen, he's missing out. When he was here, he was one of us Katowiceans, and now he's a Dusseldorf.
He's a Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf.
Right, Alan?
Sounds perfect, and yeah, for Maui to leave us like this to go off and be with Anders, it's just shameful, and hopefully when he gets back next week, you guys can get him in line.
Absolutely. All right, everybody at home, don't forget, it's Liquid versus GODSENT, and let's start, I should say, setting the scene by showing you a bit behind the scenes of GODSENT.
At I Am Winter, they pleasantly surprised us because they end up sharing 5th and 6th place with players. Now, at the conference, well, they had to go to a 3rd map against Wisla Krakow, to a 3rd map against Endpoint, and they didn't get a single map against Movistar Riders. Don't get me wrong, those are some respectable European teams, but if you're being called the 2nd best Brazilian team, we kind of have like a higher expectation.
I think the reason GODSENT struggled at the last couple of events is probably just part of their path, part of their journey to growth. They are, no doubt, like kind of second in command in terms of like Brazilian teams that have our attention. They were grinding super hard last year and had some inspiring strategies. They seem to be like really just grinding the game as well. Like I was following them on Instagram, you could see they're at this boot camp facility for months and months, just committed to development. And it is a shame to see that Phelps had to step away. I think they're really close to a breakthrough. Like looking at their Katowice qualifier, you know, you saw like they're pushing everyone, close losses to big names. And so I think for GODSENT, it's a question of, you know, maybe there's a missing piece, maybe that missing piece is within them, but it doesn't help that they've just lost one of their more star riflers and have brought in Henny, which, you know, is a bit of an unquantifiable, volatile presence. I'm excited to see what Henny does, though. He was always quite a showstopper.
2022, they did not qualify for the American RMR and they didn't get to the main event of Katowice. They just need to get more experience.
In this group, I think GODSENT's chances are there. I think they're really there. They can punish. I don't think that there's many teams that should stomp them. I think Players will be a hard game. I think Liquid will be a competitive game. Big Clan 2.
We have Movistar Riders, a team that they recently lost with a score of 2-0. So now it's more a matter if Henny is the key to their success, if he is the answer, will he be able to help out GODSENT? Or maybe he already kind of missed his prime and there's nothing they can do.
If you wanted to flex, you've got a perfect path to flex against capable competition, but beatable competition.
Machine and Heku with their thoughts on GODSENT, and perhaps there is some potential and new heights to be reached. Nonetheless, it is fair to say that GODSENT have had a shaky start to 2022.
They have had a shaky start, and it's a bit disappointing because looking back in the past year and a half during the online era, you saw this experiment come into play with Taco at the helm, and you're like, okay, this team, let's see where they're going to go. It felt like they were going to peter out somewhere in the middle of 2021, but no, they defied all expectations. They started to come together. Phelps leading the way. They were looking fantastic, and then unfortunately, you know, ever since the major stage where they got knocked out, and it's just been kind of a downward trend. And now with them taking out Phelps, the best player, you know, a legendary name from the Brazilian scene, and slotting in Henny. Now, don't get me wrong, Henny's a fantastic player, but the roles they play in their respective teams they played in the past are completely different. So I don't think they've had enough time to really slot him in, and we could see that in the scoreline they had yesterday against Movistar Riders.
Yeah, just watching them play, you can see on some maps they look a lot more kind of composed and structured than others, and that's certainly because of this whole dynamic. Before, with GODSENT, had kind of this hybrid AWPing system. There was maybe 3 or 4 of them that would pick it up depending on the map and the feeling. But now with Henny coming in, of course, he's going to take all of the primary AWPing positions, and we're looking at some of the other players and saying, now you're being put into spots you haven't played before, you haven't played recently, and they're having to adjust on the fly because presumably they're on very little practice.
How critical is it that GODSENT come into this matchup hot.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be imperative. And they do have a slight little edge, I might even say, right? Despite the fact that, sure, they've lost Phelps, they have, Henny coming in. Now, Henny, quiet day yesterday, but you don't expect him to go the entire group without really showing up. He is going to be showing up at one point or the other. And you got to bear in mind for this Liquid lineup, sure, they had a pretty good showing yesterday, but still they've had more changes overall as a team. So a definite possibility of GODSENT to maybe try and shock and awe Liquid early on here in this series.
I feel like even in terms of play style for a team like GODSENT, CT side extremely proactive, like to push in and out of places, and T side a lot of grouping early and trying to force out fights. And if the individuals aren't slowing up, that machine grinds down. And then looking at a team like GODSENT, especially at the moment, I'm not sure they have a B plan to fall back on. So for them, if the individuals aren't finding entries, if Henny on CT side is not finding impact, they could be in real trouble.
Guys, let's talk about OC. We've started to see him find his form, and of course, he is the star AWPer of NA at the moment. Is he going to be a big factor in this matchup?
Yeah, you have to say that, right? Because he is going to be going up against his counterpart in the form of Henny, who we just spoke about right now. Now, unlike Henny, OC had a fantastic game yesterday, and he had it against a pretty solid lineup in the form of Big. The way he was showing up yesterday, being very mobile with the AWP, looking to take those close quarter battles, which he's known for. And what I like a lot about OC is, look, there's so many times when you have these players from some of the more far-flung regions of the world, apart from EU, could be from Asia, from Australia, from South America, from NA, and they pop off in their own respective regions. They come into EU and they kind of falter a bit. OC hasn't seemed to miss a step. He's looking fantastic, and he is going to be critical in this game.
Yeah, I feel like for Liquid in the first few tournaments they played, so we're looking at the Blast groups in Katowice, I do think OC had a couple teething problems. Maybe it was just playing offline, maybe for the kind of the first time in a big international competition. But here he's looked brilliant so far, and as Blair mentioned, being mobile, being dynamic, this is exactly what we wanted to see for two reasons. First of all, Liquid are giving him the space. That's exactly what we needed to be seeing. If you pen him in and you don't give him the opportunities, it's not going to work with a player like OC. And secondly, he's already taking initiative and he's perfectly happy to call around himself.
And he's a part of the trifecta of the 3 stars of this team for me personally, right? You have Nafly, you got Elige, and then you got OC. So he is a very important, an essential ingredient of this particular lineup.
Blair, if what Alan is saying is accurate, which I think it is, that he had teething problems at IEM, how important is it that he finds his adult teeth here at ESL Pro League?
Okay, I'm just going to avoid that particular metaphor there. I don't know much about like adult teething.
Adult teeth are the ones that you get after.
I know, but sometimes, you know,
baby teeth fall out.
People can have baby teeth.
Then you get your adult teeth and you have a full bite.
Don't you know what people?
Use a metaphor.
I know, but it's a weird metaphor, right, Paula? Okay, jokes aside, I still feel that OC, he's really proven his worth, so to speak. Now going up against GODSENT, it should be an easier opponent as opposed to Big yesterday. That being said, I'm going to give the slight little edge to GODSENT because I feel like they, even though they're not really super strong at any particular map, so to speak, they have a pretty deep map pool, surprisingly.
Talking about maps, Alan, it's your favorite thing. You're always talking about, oh, I love maps. I want to talk about maps. It's the veto, mate.
Oh, I love them so much, Parla. We always talk about it in the green room. But going into this veto, as Blair mentioned, the big thing about GODSENT is a 7-map pool, and they can flex it wherever they like. And they flexed it right here by banning Liquid's best map at the moment. Almost certainly would have been their map pick. In this one, Nuke permaban, no surprises there. And it's going to be Ancient for GODSENT, Blair. What do you make of that one?
I'm not too surprised. It's a map that they like picking almost every single opportunity they have, and I feel like, especially in a matchup where they are the slight underdogs, it totally makes sense. I did kind of foresee GODSENT going for the Dust 2 ban early on because Liquid looked really, really good against Big, but it was either going to be Mirage getting picked by Liquid or it was going to be Dust 2, right? It's a 50-50. Ancient Dust 2. Inferno is a decider, no surprises there. I think it's a map that GODSENT, at least for GODSENT, I think they're going to be pretty comfortable on all 3 maps. But that being said, I feel the peaks of Liquid, especially on their map pick and Inferno, could be higher.
I actually, in this veto, don't think GODSENT should have let the third go to Inferno. We know for Team Liquid, their map pool at the moment is pretty shallow. We haven't seen them on the edge of their map pool. And with a team like GODSENT, which can go pretty deep, I would have loved to see them test the edges more, maybe put kind of Liquid onto a slightly more uncomfortable map. Granted, though, Ancient is probably one of those maps. You can't imagine they've had a lot of time to practice that one over on the Liquid side. So, given what we saw yesterday, they looked pretty good on Ancient up against Movistar. but can they repeat it here against what I would consider a tougher team?
I mean, Movistar did look really, really good today as well, right? They were able to take down players on the map of Ancient, has showing up a really, really good T side as well. So yeah, I mean, at least based on that, those two maps can kind of show that, sure, you know, that they were able to take down a team who were capable of playing on that map. So Ancient, I think, is absolutely a win condition if GODSENT were to potentially pull off this upset.
Blair, Alan, as we approach the start of this match, can I push you both for some predicciones?
Well, listen, I'm not Ryan, so I'm not going to say it's NA versus NA. GODSENT are clearly from South America, but I will have to side with the NA boys here. I feel like Liquid, they just have the superior star power. I feel like Henny really hasn't been slotted into his role the way OC and Shox has. So, yeah, I feel Liquid's going to take this.
I don't know. I'm feeling the upset. GODSENT 2-1.
All right, we've got Blair with Liquid, Alan with GODSENT. I wonder who Maui and Anders think are going to take this one. Guys, over to you.
Well, I've got to say, I am shocked, Parla, that it was Alan picking GODSENT. Maui,
Do my ears deceive me?
Yeah, I can't make sense of it. I just can't.
I kind of get it from the stance that the veto for GODSENT went more or less how it should have or how they wanted it to go. But beyond that, Liquid has shown me so much to be happy about.
They have. They've looked so exciting. I mean, yesterday, yeah, they obviously taken out big in 2 maps. That was really, really cool to see. I reckon that it's going to be Liquid doing it again. But we're starting on Ancient with Liquid on the CT side, GODSENT on the T side. Classic smokes towards the middle, but oh, there's a lot of people running in here behind that smoke. I like this. Though pushing into T spawn is 3 members of Team Liquid, and they're going to be catching Dumao to begin with. Barton going down next. What an absolutely exceptional pistol round, maybe especially from the side of Liquid. Finding Taco as well. There is Elige. I think GODSENT must be so confused. I'm a little bit confused right now.
This isn't a game state you get very often on Ancient. Nice shot by Elige to close that one out, but that was a cool little play from Liquid. The triple push towards T-spawn through A main. It's almost like GODSENT didn't know if they could plant. It's already hard enough to plant on A, and if you've lost A main on top of that, there's pretty much no options for you, and you could see they were sort of searching, prodding for something, but as they're trying to figure out what's the answer to this incredible start from Liquid, Elige just snipes them all down.
Yeah, he got 4 kills in this game, and I think Elige has been playing pretty well recently, but I don't think we haven't really seen the super psycho level of Elige yet, which I think maybe it's a good thing that it's not always needed, because he's got Naf there, he's got OC to drop a lot. Even Nitro's been putting up more kills recently, but it is fun to see. I'd love to have one of those really overpowered Elige games as well.
Show it. Show NA's Chosen One at his finest. That's what we want.
We're back on board at the NA train. All it takes is 1 game.
Don't sell me out. Yeah.
All right, Henny pushing into the bomb site. It's a good idea. Flashbang as well to try and set it up for him, but doesn't really work out. And all they've got is a kill on Shox in this round, running into the MP9. A little bit uncomfortable at the range. With a bomb time behind, this is a pretty respectable round right now for GODSENT. They could be happy about this. If they could get 1 more kill, it's going to be even more exciting. Doubt they'll win the round. It's going to be a little bit hard to hold on to this one, although they do get Elige and a lot of damage on the OZ as well. Team Liquid, they had everyone here. They line up and oh no, it's a disaster. Naf is low on health already. Dumao just trying to sneak around. He's got to be a little bit careful, lacking the head armor here. 1 bullet would do it, but it's Dumao instead. 1 versus 1 at the end. And GODSENT, that is a shocking second round.
Huge victory for GODSENT there. They went all over the map, had that lane pressure into Donut, and Liquid, they couldn't come up with it. Just the full retake from Temple is something that they probably didn't want to do, but that fresh smoke towards CT sort of forced their hand. So this is a cool round from GODSENT where they were just moving all over the place, and an unfortunate lineup for Naf right here. He takes down his teammate along with the opponent in Barton.
Yeah, that was, I guess this one a good example of sometimes even a couple of things, like Nitro in the beginning only getting the 1 kill and not doing much more than that. Doesn't seem maybe like a big deal right at the outset, but some of those things compound over a whole round, and then at the end you're like, oh, we needed a couple of more people here.
We needed some more frags in some of these positions. Not quite the value they wanted. A few too many 1-for-1s. On Ancient especially, you're usually good for 2 in a lot of these spots. But we still see that Liquid force back into it. A few upgraded pistols. The scout on Elige is going to be something to keep our eye on if GODSENT even contests him, because Liquid are in a heavy A lean once again, and they're comfortable giving up this B site more or less.
Yeah, they're pretty much hoping, I guess, that it's going to be some sort of an A hit, which we talked about this yesterday. We were watching some GODSENT demos. We noticed that they like going for that A bomb site. It's likely a lot of other teams have as well, so Liquid kind of hoping that that's what's going to happen. I like this flank for Shox, but it's probably not going to be in time. I have to imagine that the fight will happen in this B bomb site before Shox get into a deep position. He's getting kind of close, though. OC with a nice headshot on Henny, and now maybe that buys time for Shox. What an interesting twist this is.
Oh, another mid-round call from Taco and the GODSENT crew. Shox is good for Dumao. Now, 3-on-5 post-plant. GODSENT, they're not favoring their chances in this. They don't have the smokes they need to have a really strong defense in this one. And Liquid, they've got so many players.
Some good damage there. Martin dropped down to 30. Taco going to be found as well. Oh, this is not the follow-up round that GODSENT needed at all. From just winning that second round right into this, definitely shocking. I think if they would have either gone straight for the B bomb side initially when they were there, or maybe just were a little bit quicker to rotate back to A, either one of those would have worked fine, but it's like they were just slow enough that they were getting picked off in transition to the A bomb side. That's upsetting.
I will say Shox was the hero of that round.
Yeah, for sure.
Pushed through A to allow Liquid to rotate on towards B prematurely. And the fact that he even found a second flank kill, he gets this one as he went all the way through A, and he comes all the way back and finds another kill at A main. This guy's all over the place.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
And that's some wild output. Okay, so Liquid possibly right back in the saddle. Just immediately shaking off that second round loss.
GODSENT not interested in going for the force. A lot of teams would have gone for it. They want to control the money. They know that it's fragile for the CTs, but there's also a strong case to save here. Of course, you can get a better buy. And I actually kind of like that GODSENT don't want to play the scrappy econ game. They actually think that their game plan is likely good enough that once they get full utility, full weaponry, they'll be ready to compete with Liquid.
We certainly saw a lot of really cool stuff from them yesterday. On an individual level, they had a lot of players that were having, I think, a really high output. Barton was one of the people we talked about yesterday, but also Dumao on this map as well had a lot of good rounds. So they shouldn't be lacking too much on that front. Single flashbang from Henny. Could throw that through the ceiling and set up something. I think it's worth trying.
Yeah, we're fans of the single flashbang, full save.
Yeah.
If it could find anything at all, it's value. Doesn't look like it'll happen this time.
That's a bit rough. Yeah, but one kill would have made the difference. Now, we were playing matchmaking yesterday.
Yes.
We're trying to say that to improve, people could listen to ASMR. Tell me about that.
Subliminals and ASMR.
Yeah, that's how you get into the...
It all helps. It all helps. Anything that gets the mindset right.
All right.
Mindset's so important in CS. You need to be in the right headspace. And if ASMR calms you down, if subliminals calm you down, whatever, take your pick.
Okay.
You gotta just be calm. Notice all the stone cold killers in CS. They're not the emotional types. They're brooding. They're quiet.
And you think ASMR is really the secret that no one else has really revealed yet?
Find out if Rops listens to ASMR.
Okay.
It'll explain a lot.
Oh, that is unfortunate. I actually think that's a wild position to get to for Barton so early in the round. If he hadn't got spotted then, he probably could have made his way really deep and blown open that whole A bomb site. Although it has caused an entire switch. What's happening on the Liquid side? Why are they all left the B bomb site?
They really sold out on this. Lado has some great advanced positioning. He should be good to catch a leash off. Yes, he does. And the flash from Nitro, a little bit too late. But Liquid are just not in the position to go for this. It's very tough to find an in. It does seem like they will still attempt it, but Dumao's spot should be good for a frag on the nav. It is, and now Liquid, they have a choice to make, but they're pressing on forward.
Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are. I don't know why they're still doing this. Excellent gun work coming out from Taco. Big double kill right there. Shox, yeah, going to be forced obviously to back away, but that seemed like such an obvious time to, as soon as Dumao was in that position, you think, well, you're now controlling none of the avenues to get into the bomb site. Why would you keep going?
The retakes are very strong on Ancient. You can give up a lot of B and be comfortable retaking, but you still need that back lane or cave. You need something, and Liquid had nothing. They sold out entirely. They rotated all over to A. I feel like this position from Barton might have been actually the winning play of the round. It just made Liquid think that surely he's just not here by himself, and GODSENT just used that for a very strong mid-round.
That's where you really wish you could be listening into the comms of OC at that time, because he must have been shocked too, saying, wait, they're actually on the bomb site. They're not even just fighting at the initial entrance in the hallway there. They're really on here, so could have been that there was a little bit there. Elish, I think that's a nice attempt. Would have been really cool if he could have made it back around the smoke. Naf and Shox though, still pretty forward position. It does get spammed down to 35.
Dangerous game that Shox is playing standing there. So many bullets flying through. GODSENT spent 2 whole magazines just to tag him down, 65 HP. And Elige, we want to see more from him. We want to see him pop off. He's having a good game thus far, but going 1 for 1 on a map like Ancient, when the crossfires can be so powerful and your life in the late round is so strong on top of that, that's not what you're looking for. You're not looking to go 1 for 1.
No, GODSENT have already proven that they can convert those into wins if they get that kind of opportunity. They call for a bit of a freeze, and I guess given the fact that they've been flanked by Shox already a couple of times, maybe it makes sense to just make sure that's not happening. Which we can tell them it's not. No. So right now they're kind of wasting their own time, but they have enough nades to go for a follow-up. Surely they can go for a full execute, nearly.
There's still some good counter utility on the side of Liquid, but it's not on the right people. Naf is more towards middle, OC on the A site. There's nothing to stop this B play, in fact. Just has to be the crossfire between Shox and Nitro.
Smoke almost in time. Didn't want to try and get the spam through with the MP9. He's doing it a little bit now. Looked like a good angle and a good opportunity there for Naf. Normally the kind of kill that he's going to get every single time, but he gets taken down by Henny instead. 10 seconds on the clock. They're trying to get that bomb plant, but they can't. The spam is in from Shox, and that delays things. 4 seconds now. They're getting the kills, but they need to find OC, and they cannot. Clock runs down. And Liquid should be real excited that they managed to win that round, because could have easily gone wrong.
Beautiful 1v2 from OC. Doesn't even have to fire a bullet. All brain right there. Good stuff. But also for GODSENT, that's a little bit of a mishap. It felt like they had every reason to get onto that site, to get that bomb planted. The only thing to say beyond that is that Shox's spam was perfect. That threw such a wrench into everything that was going on for GODSENT. This right here. So timely at that. 8 seconds left when he finishes it. Good lineup. Good. That's just good game knowledge.
It's one of the worst feelings when you're planting that bomb and you just there's not much you can do. Especially as a 7 seconds, even getting off the plant is super high risk. You know, it doesn't necessarily get any better doing that. So tough scenario. I'm gonna try and do it real quick. Bit of an off timing here, just early on in the round. Forcing their way through the smoke and checking. They're not finding anyone back here because Liquid are just so far back on the bomb side, but I still kind of like the attempt. Good kill for Elige. Lado going to follow it up immediately, and they should have a chance for a really fast bomb plant here.
Yep. Planted in a slightly different location to avoid the Shox spam. And Barton still lurking towards A. Nitro not expecting that, but now that means they know that there's a 2-on-3 on the bomb site. Liquid should be speeding up right now. Lado takes down Naf. Shox is pushing out forward. Does take down Henny. Now OC, he's still behind a smoke. Does he expect Lado to be here? Yes, he sees his butt, takes him out. Now Barton comes up the ramp, but it seems like they're aware of his position, and OC finds the final kill.
Ooh, I was cringing hard because I thought he was going to shoot the belt or the backpack or something like that. We saw that yesterday, but.
Yep, the hitbox this time worked out, though.
Good job. Good retake. It actually started off not necessarily that great. Shox, though, I feel like Shox is doing so much work right now.
Oh, Shox is having so much impact. Yes, I totally agree with you.
Just the flanks that are coming in. Obviously, the wallbang shot, but here, you can see how alert he is. He knew that there was a flash drone from there and his teammate died to that person, so he had a really good read on it.
Wow. Nice shot by OC. Oh, fast play towards middle, though. Elige finds Taco, but GODSENT, this is a round they really like. The fake towards middle with Taco and then sending it towards A, but Nitro's already in great position. Goes for the swing through the smoke. There's a flash to help him out, but it's actually Henny that team flashed, and now Dumao, the only player that remains in A main.
That push of the smoke seemed like it looked like it was slow enough that he was going to get wiped out, but then the flashes came in.
Yeah, I don't know where the flash came from that blinded those players from GODSENT, and the only flash assist we saw on the kill feed was Henny, unfortunately. For GODSENT's sake, that is. This was a nice recovery from Alige.
Truly, yeah. It just... Oh, he's walking in through ice.
Oh, they were turning to wait for Henny's flash, but then they had to turn into it because Nitro swung right through the smoke.
Impeccable timing.
That's just good timing from Nitro.
GODSENT have been keeping up the pressure in terms of buying, and they've been getting bomb plants, so they've kind of been allowed to. Finally, they actually have to rest a little bit now. So Liquid, they're up 6-2, but they're probably going to get a shot here at extending that lead even further and maybe even building more of an economy. You could tell they don't have that much money in the bank at the moment, so it's pretty exciting.
It feels like GODSENT should have more rounds.
It does.
They've been in such strong positions in some of these. Shocks? Yeah, Pat, he should pad his stats right now. He's done so much work, and in terms of impact, it almost feels like he should have 11, 12 kills. Just how much he's provided.
That scoreboard can sometimes be a little bit deceiving, yeah?
Yes.
But, yeah, the Liege just has got a fair few of them as well. And if they can put Naf into play again, there's not many games... Oh, okay.
It's not an MP9 Shocks.
I guess.
The jumping accuracy, it's not that great with that weapon. One thing I've wanted to see more from GODSENT after day one with Henny is a little bit more utilization of his op on the offense. It's so many rounds. I went back and watched his POV, and he's oftentimes having to throw the nades, hold almost the flank with the op, just coming in late to a bomb site. It'd be nice if they had a couple pieces to set him up. And the thing is with GODSENT is that they never had a primary opper, so I feel like most of their plays didn't revolve around having an opper as strong as Henny that they could rely on. And so Henny yesterday just had to make the most out of these awkward situations where he's not the focal point of a round. And it would be cool if Taco could evolve his in-game leading, if Henny could bring to the table some of the plays that he used to run in order to make GODSENT's offense just a more significant force.
I feel like what you're asking even could be done without even changing any of the strategies, because you could almost just say, let's call whatever we're going to call, but let's just do it 30 seconds later and give Henny 30 seconds to try and find an opening. And if he does, then, you know, we make the calls afterwards. You don't even necessarily, I mean, obviously you could, I guess, like go even deeper with it, but on some level you could just reserve some time at the beginning of the round and say, go, because obviously Henny should be that kind of an impact player, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't even feel like GODSENT is ever bad at defaulting. Nice deep smoke early on from Liquid.
Real geek stuff.
And look at how they stopped everyone from GODSENT, all 4 players outside of A main. They don't even want to push in just yet. It affords Liquid so much time to clear out cave and also have eyes on middle. But GODSENT, they might have hit a timing. It seems like they might have just pushed right through that, and Nitro, he's got to be aware.
Yeah, seems like it. Still could be very, very dangerous. One good flash out into the open. There's one of them there, forcing him back, and he still picks up a kill. It's pretty good. Some damage to follow it up as well. 4-on-4 in the after plant. It's going to be a double retake coming through Donut from the middle there. Both Naf and Shocks trying to see if they can make their way through, although might not be easy. Molotovs as well to try and keep them back. It gets extinguished in the smoke. That's a little bit of an issue. Lado's still hitting the headshot, and that might be good enough. It might be time for Liquid to really seriously consider if they want to keep going here, because they are walking into a lot. They have some money in the bank. I guess they can afford to throw a little bit away here. Some spray from Naf will take down Taco, but yeah, that bomb is too far ticked already. That is a very good call. If they don't walk through that smoke, that timing window towards Nitro is going to be real different.
That could be a combination of things, whether GODSENT had some prep or a read on Liquid liking to throw that smoke, or maybe they've just seen other teams throw it against them in scrims before. Either way, good call from Taco. good scaling, excellent trading. That's one thing that GODSENT has done so well on all of their side hits is their trading has been on point. It's almost always a 1-for-1. The amount of times Elige has been 1-for-1, that time Nitro gets 1-for-1, that is ideal for what you need in offense.
Yeah, it's so repeatable. I mean, if you want to build long-term success, right, that's a pretty good foundation.
Yes.
7-3. Probably a good time to remind everyone, this is a pretty CT-sided map, so 3 rounds doesn't look super impressive, but I mean, they're still pretty competitive if they can keep this up. And if they can win, maybe not quite the next round, but I mean, if they can keep the pressure on the Liquid economy, they have an opening for the rest of this half to do some work.
Yeah, it's the potential that this half has. Oh, OC can't quite hit that one, but Shock's behind Totem. He's able to get one. Barton, again, with the trades. GODSENT just all over the bomb site, swarming it. And Liquid, they're forced into a retake situation once again.
Yeah, Elige on a bit of a flank. Lado is watching for it, and this could be a pivotal fight right here. That is such a quick headshot. I don't even think Elige saw what was happening at all. That's pretty wild. Henny trying to take some shots to the smoke, not connecting with anything, but he's not under a lot of pressure to do that. I mean, it is fun when you get the blind shot through, but ultimately, just stay alive and make sure that bomb actually goes off here. They're doing a good job. Liquid are trying to maximize their potential in the round. It's kind of interesting. Definitely, there are some teams that would have called for a save already. Liquid, not one of them. OC, oh, he's straight on there. Oh, but the wall bang is in. That is some fantastic revenge coming in from GODSENT. They lost a round early, obviously the Shock's doing that, so they're getting a little bit back. Nitro and Naf are gonna have to try and escape. I actually love that from Liquid. If they failed that, and if they could have even just not heard the defuse at all, they would have been in trouble.
There was a lot of commotion going on, but GODSENT looked so comfortable just sitting 3 in cave. A lot of teams in that sort of situation might keep a player on the bomb site, but if GODSENT are comfortable enough with the spam, then they don't even have to take that risk. They don't even have to take the risk of having a player die on the site.
Alex, do you reckon... Do you think gun polishing ASMR exists?
Surely.
It must, right?
Any objects touching other objects has an ASMR.
Yeah.
That's almost guaranteed.
I'm just trying to think of what would be Counter-Strike appropriate if people...
A whole gun disassembly and reassembly noises. The reload noise. I mean, the noises in Counter-Strike are almost ASMR-esque, especially... That's why people love quick switching. It's part of the reason.
Feels like a million views YouTube channel idea to just
the sounds.
Take the guns apart, clean all the individual parts.
Right.
Just all that. That's, you know, that's Counter-Strike prep.
Someone out there make it.
There you go. Do it and tweet it at us. If it exists already, find it for us. Wow, 12th round is coming up, but that is... I don't know, I'm actually really impressed by GODSENT. I don't know if this is your feeling, but I feel like they're getting more rounds than I was expecting, and they're doing a much better job than I was expecting right now.
A lot of the rounds have been pretty... Some of the rounds that they lost were close. That's the way I'll put it. And it almost feels like they could have 1, 2 more on the board, and if they did, this would already be an excellent half for the T side of Ancient. At this point, they're not even upset about that. Again, the potential of this half is very strong for GODSENT. Some nades over towards B, but once again, GODSENT, they're favoring that A side. We've seen this a lot in their demos in the past. It seems like it's a hallmark GODSENT play.
Naf and Shocks are going to find out pretty soon, but I wonder if it's even going to be in time. But they know that there's no one outside. Yeah, OC's on that AWP yet again. Dumas with a good kill. Ooh, they don't even check it. That is so interesting. Barton was really occupied on the donut instead. He goes down. Dumas will follow afterwards. Elige has shown up to the party. He's currently got 13 kills and just 6 deaths, so he is a really, really hard opponent right now to take down. A little bit of a chance there, maybe, but it's a 1-on-3, and Henny is on his own. Low on health already. It's going to be OC to find him. Good triple for him, and obviously with Elige backing up on an M4, that was a well-defended bomb side.
Absolutely. The fact is that OC hitting that first shot just makes trading, getting onto that site so much harder. Getting stopped at the entrance right there, losing your first player before you're even out of the mouth of A main is something where you haven't even fanned out. That's quick. That's nice to see from OC. He's starting to make some people believe. It's obvious to most pundits by now that he is the best North American opper, but I'm glad that he's showing it on the server too.
I think, well, hold on. We'll see if they're going to go. I'll talk to you about OC in a second. Right now, they are all outside of the B-bomb side. It could be a quick Elige taking a bit of damage, which surely they must have heard on the other side, but they only have Tech-9s and Mac-10s to hold him back with, so it's going to be a 2-for-1 trade favoring Elige. Still well worth it. And Shox, no fear at all, pushing through and getting a double kill. That's a very quick round. They didn't even let them set anything up. See, my issue is, when I first heard people talk about OC, it was all of the North American pundits.
Yes.
And I feel like you guys have poisoned the well for this. Because everyone's, at least a couple of times a year, someone...
This guy.
Yeah, there's this guy.
There's another Kusta.
There's another Kusta. Exactly. It's going to be awesome. And then you don't always see it. But so I feel like I'm always kind of a little bit disposed to thinking, I don't know, maybe not. But I've got to say, I'm impressed by OC right now. He's convinced me. Even through the hype and the propaganda.
What I try to tell people when watching OC is that just watch how many shots he gets in a round, because there's a difference between a flashy opper that hits 10 out of 10 difficulty shots because they put themselves in a bad position, and the fact that OC creates in a round sometimes upwards of 5 out of 10 difficulty shots. Yep. If you're hitting 3 out of those, you're doing better than the guy that can hit the 10 out of 10 shot. You shouldn't even be in the position to hit the 10 out of 10 shot. You should be looking for easier avenues to consistent success. Yep. And OC's found a formula for that.
It's very dangerous because everyone, including the player himself, will remember the 1 in 10 that you hit. I mean, it's really, incredible flick. You think, ooh, I remember that. That worked really well. But
I can do that.
Yeah.
That's something that's in my playbook now. You should just move away from that.
Yeah, that's probably a really hard thing to. I mean, I think it's like an error in the human coding to you remember those things, right? For anyone that's ever played any poker, like I remember that one time I got exactly that 9 that I just needed.
It's sort of Dunning-Kruger for your own abilities with the op.
Yeah.
Just you do it once and you think I'm a god, but it ain't really like that all the time.
They were almost out of position for this A defense, but they've actually kind of got back into place. OC, speak of the devil, back with that AWP, taking down Dumao. So GODSENT, it looked like they had a real opening here, but I think I think if they had been 3 seconds later to get back into these positions, Liquid, maybe this would have been a little bit more terrible. But good defense, 10-4 going into the 15th round.
Still not a bad half for GODSENT so far, but they'd love this last one. 5 rounds on the T side feels like a completely manageable game. 11-4, slightly different story. But yeah, Liquid have been doing a good job. The GODSENT playbook has, I wouldn't say it's been extinguished yet. There's still a couple things that Taco could throw out there, but Liquid have found a recipe for success when it comes to dealing with that constant A pressure that GODSENT so loves.
Definitely 2 teams that we're watching here that have prepared a lot for each other. OC down in the middle. Also, obviously, the classic way of playing the AWP is just moving around a lot on the CT side, making it really hard to guess. Taco would have loved to have... I don't know if he would have loved to have faced Elige right now because he is out of control, but in theory, he would have probably rather faced an M4 on that side.
Absolutely, but that's just another example. That was probably a 3 out of 10 difficulty shot for OC.
Yeah.
That's how he starts the round. So just keep an eye on that, fellas.
Ramping up into it. Smoke there at the top of middle. Nitro playing around the donut, so he's able to keep an eye on it, and OC's now back in the A-bomb site. A little bit uncomfortable here. Critical victory if Dumao can get this one, but ooh, Nitro standing tall. That's a pivotal kill. Otherwise, he exposes OC to another angle. It's going to make it really tricky. And he's just playing hide and seek, buying time and nearly getting that kill. Nice little flick there for OC. He does spot out another one, but Henny is right behind. And that is a critical shot to take him down. 2-on-2, 30 seconds left, and there will be a bomb plant here, although Shox is kind of close by. Doesn't necessarily want to just straight run for it.
The timing on Barton turning away there. Just missed that little window.
They're going to both double up, coming through the same angle. They have a smoke on either player and a diffuse kit on either one as well. Yeah, they're going to smoke it off. That's going to put a little bit of pressure on the remaining GODSENT players, although Henny has a pretty decent angle. I'm sure he's going to, get flashed eventually. So he'll have to turn around for that one, but they can't really run him down. They're going to instead sit right on the bomb, and with an AWP, that's a huge issue. They don't even know it's going to be a full defuse. Oh, they stole it right in front of them. 11-4 at the end, Maui. That's critical.
Well done by Liquid. Great retake between the two of them, but Liquid are going to be going into the half up 11-4. We'll find out how this first map concludes after a break.
My favorite map in the current pool is probably Ancient, because I feel like it's a map where it's not dated like the other maps, and it's a newer map. So like a lot of the time you're going to be seeing new stuff in the map and like new strats and maybe new grenades. Whereas like you look at Dusty and the map's just been around forever, so there's like not too much meta changing stuff on that map. But I think Ancient is really cool because it's just a newer map, and it's a map that we got all the guys to try, and we've been having a lot of fun on it, and it's just a cool change of scenery, really.
Hey Future Pros, during a game I was observing, I saw Astralis pull off a really sick run boost in mid. This run boost allowed Dupree to peek the B alley insanely fast. So fast in fact, he beat the T's ledge molly. An extra note, a fast mid molly or flash would help a lot, as it's possible for T's to catch you out if they are fast enough. To pull off this run boost, you'll need 3 Future Pros, 1 flash, and just a little bit of movement skill. Future Pro number 1. You'll be the lower part of the run boost. Run into mid, do a 180 and stand on the mid section of the steps. Time it right and start running backwards just as Future Pro 1 lands on your head. Then just do whatever. Future Pro number 2. You are the movement pro, so run into mid and jump onto Future Pro 1's head. Keep holding W and jump almost instantly. Now you can sprint across the ledge and get a really quick peek into the B alley. Future Pro number 3. You'll be throwing the supported flash, so try to get it right. To throw the flash, stand against this wall. Aim above this ornament on the right side. Then running throw your flash. If you all did everything right, you can get a really quick peek into the B alley and hopefully catch a T fully flashed.
Welcome back. 11-4 in the first half in favor of Team Liquid. We're on Ancient for the first map at a best of 3. Pretty good start for Liquid. GODSENT, I think, definitely deserved more rounds than the 4 that they got. Had very competitive. A little bit of a misleading scoreline when you say Maui.
Very fair to say that, Anders. I would say that GODSENT got so many opportunities on sites and even stole some rounds that they probably shouldn't early on in that half. But either way, it is Liquid with a heavy lead. But we have seen games like this before on Ancient. Nothing's over till it's over. The CT side is simply so powerful.
If they can win the pistol round, that's a good step in the right direction. Naf already on the bomb site, right behind him. They've got Elige with the bomb, and he's going to be putting that down right away. Lado and Barton are on a flank, but they're quite far away. This is a really fast bomb plant and a 5-on-5 retake in a pistol round. You have a smoke and a kit on Dumao, so theoretically, they could try and go for something, but they are going to be under a little bit of pressure here in terms of the time, because that is a really fast bomb plant. And now, what a crossfire. To even get into the cave here, that's just going to be so tricky. Oh, I take it all back. Incredible headshots. Lado picking up two. They're trying to get a defuse, but the wall banks are in. OC running out of bullets. They're back, and oh, he's going to take him down. Naf with a huge double, and Liquid, they win the round.
Naf used the diffuser as a meat shield for the other player. They're cracking up over there at Liquid.
Is that even legal?
I don't know if I've really ever seen that before. Just shooting the diffuser in the behind as you're using him as a piece of cover to kill the other player too.
That's what you see in movies where a bank robber will take a hostage, and
or usually you take someone, you hold them in front of you, and oh man, Naf is so creative. He's so creative for doing this. He just crouches right there. What? Taco's been Cold's meat shield for years, and Naf says, I want a piece of that.
Well, listen, I mean, that Taco and Cold duo really worked. I don't blame Naf for wanting that.
Yeah.
So a little bit of jealousy goes a long way. All right. Taco's down in this round, too. What a way to get started. Sharks jumping, splitting the headshot, taking down Barton. It's a 5-on-3 now, and they've pretty much taken control of this part of the map. Dumao, yeah, they needed a couple more deal headshots to make this competitive, I think. Gonna be tricky now. So with an 11-4 first half, and then you win the pistol round and you go into string a few more rounds, you're getting real close to winning this map in a big way.
Yes. Some would say that GODSENT needed the pistol in order to compete in this one, because this little buffer that Liquid's creating is very strong. GODSENT won't be able to buy in the next round, so you'd have to imagine this is almost GODSENT getting their first gun round at 14-4.
It's going to have such a solid lockdown, which I think you're right in saying. I mean, it definitely can happen. I don't know if we've seen maybe quite that string of, but we've seen some pretty good blocks of like 7-8 rounds where there's nothing that Seaside can do.
I've seen a 14-5 on this map.
Okay.
I'm all the way back.
There we go.
But I haven't seen a 14-4. But we still have to see if Liquid even hit that 14th right now. Henny does have a scout, and maybe with this freedom that Henny will find in this upcoming round, the fact that there's no pressure on his shoulder, there's probably no one telling him what to do, he can now create his own.
You'd love to see that. Oh, they're showing up towards the stack. Bit of a missed opportunity there, perhaps. Barton will still make a little bit work. There's the tags that they need. Elige down to 29. Get a couple more scout shots like that in, and even the USPs could start to do damage. Wow. He just walking back, getting the headshot with the AK.
That was a fadeaway shot right there.
Peace.
Yeah, I'm out. Elige has been feeling it this game. It's been nice to see. Yesterday he was playing well, no doubt about that, but it didn't feel like he was that ascending player that we all have seen in the past. And there's reason for that to happen. It's not all on Elige. It's a roster that's gelling together. Sometimes you got to give some leeways. Apparently, we don't have Mirage in this series, but they've switched spots, him and Naf, so he's not even entirely in all of his comfort zones with this lineup.
Ooh. Okay, Elige taking it upon himself to go and check all the way across the map to find out what's happening there. It does go down, but at least they discover the scout is there. And they have everyone in position to do a little bit more. 2 versus 3. Doesn't feel like the kind of round where you're going to be successfully retaking this site. It looks like they're already kind of giving up on that idea anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think also there's probably a lot of games here where it's not strictly speaking necessary for Elige to be having this kind of an output, because a lot of the time Naf will take that job over instead, and we've seen OC do that. I think even between just Naf and OC, if they're playing really well, you don't need another player at +20 necessarily. So, but I think it's fun. I think it's really nice to see the confidence. And in terms of sort of the rest of the year for Liquid, right? Like, it's great if they can swap different people in and out of the hot seat like that. Definitely gives a lot to them.
They have a lot of weapons now in the 3 OC, Elige, and Naf.
Yeah.
it's about getting Shocks and Nitro activated too. In the early matches for Liquid, Nitro definitely didn't feel like he was ready.
No.
But what we saw yesterday made myself, and I'm sure many others, hopeful about the future of this lineup, and especially given the fact that Shocks is providing so much impact in this map. It does feel like Liquid's ceiling is potentially very high.
And he also, I mean, it's a one map, we don't have a lot of data points, but in this particular map, it seems like Sharks has had a lot of autonomy to go and do his own things, right? And when you have a player that experienced, it makes sense to try and say, yeah, you know what? We trust you to figure it out. Because he probably will. 14-4, 19th round. First real buy round for GODSENT in the second half. Boost going over, all right. Could have been fun to find someone there, but yeah, this has to be the start of a really cool comeback for GODSENT right now. Or they're just gonna be wiped out on this map, picked by GODSENT as well.
Standard nades to get mid control from Liquid. Top mid smoke, but Taco, wow, finds the spam through the smoke. Oh, he's looking for more. He has a good lineup too. Wow, tags OC down to 28 on top of that. Very nice. But is it enough? Because OC, he catches Dumao going for the swing. Questionable swing from Dumao. Felt like his position was pretty strong, but sometimes you just want that little piece of information. It felt probably low risk to him. Didn't expect OC to be posted on the angle.
Yeah, it's possible that if he's not up on that ledge, that it actually is a little bit more safe for him to do that, but there was definitely a lot of space there. Look at the clock here. 20 seconds. Liquid leaving themselves very little time for any kind of mistake. And remember that wallbang spam that's been coming out? I mean, that can be a huge factor when you only have 14. Oh, but it goes the other way. Nitro. Nice headshot to take down Lado. Down to 8 seconds, and they're going to try for the bomb plant. Taco, he wants to stop it, but he can't. OC there to take him down instead. And now it's a 2-on-3. Henny going for a swing, but it's not going to happen. Elige will take him down. Barton now, 1 versus 3. He's going to find a way to get that first kill, but it's a long ways to get back here. And yeah, he's going to pick up the AWP and make a run for it instead.
No kit, no smoke, no chance. That's what Barton sees. Nitro, wow, oh, this is such a proactive play from Nitro. Is he going to find him? Wow, nice job from Nitro there. That's a really heads-up rotation from him to stop that op from going into the potentially final round of this map. He's in the zone, Nitro. That kill at Cave was so important. It was paramount for their success.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And that opening, this hard to explain, but yeah, this one is a nice swing. Just the opening that they needed.
Taco wanted that planner so badly.
I mean, at what, 7 or 8 seconds there? If he runs through to get that kill, it's
potentially round winning.
Yeah,
it is round winning if he gets the kill.
All right, Dumao's pushed out. Lado's behind him.
Legion's here so quick. They're not going to expect this.
And he was flashed in, yeah. That works well. OC throwing that flashbang from really far away. That actually would be kind of fun to see again. 4-on-4 now. And GODSENT just they're not finding their footing. They're not being allowed to find any comfort in the second half yet.
Liquid using some utility to be methodical about their clear. It seems like Shocks has a bit of a feeling that somebody could be there. Yeah. But they're gonna have to hard clear it. They're not using any mollies for that position just yet. Now Taco could be activated. The flash is there, swings out, gets 2. That might be enough for Taco, but Shocks, nice tap onto Dumao, makes this a very doable 2v2.
Mechanically right now, Shocks is looking really scary, it's a nightmare for anyone that's going to be playing Liquid in the future. It's been a long time since we've seen Shocks really put up that incredibly high mechanical level, but he's definitely got it somewhere hidden in his mind. Going to swing for it and take down Barton. It's a nice little little trade there. 2 for 1 now, and Henny alone to try and save the map and just keep fighting a little bit longer. But with an MP9 at range towards Donut, it feels unlikely. Clock is with him, though. 13 seconds right here. Bomb is still kind of stuck on Nitro. And they're checking everything. I guess they have a little bit of time for it, but it is risky. And now they're probably thinking, yeah, right, the one spot we haven't checked is going to be Donut. 4 seconds. They're going to have enough time for the bomb plant, just barely, and they double swing. Nitro to take him down 16-4 as they win the map pick of GODSENT.
That was perfect time management from Shox. He made every peak the way he should have. He was able to clear out all of CT. What an excellent job from Shox right there. The impact that we saw from him in that game is something that we should be hopeful for when thinking about the future of Liquid. We're going to get a post-game interview, though, from Liquid in order to hear more of their thoughts. Heku is on the scene with the big scoop.
Yeah, Maui, more than 20 kills. I mean, only 6 deaths also. That was very, very impressive. We know that you don't have too much LAN experience. I think in 2021, you didn't actually have a single game actually on a LAN. How do you feel right now? Do you feel comfortable playing in this environment?
Yeah, it's honestly been a really good experience so far. Like, playing at LAN is definitely different from playing online, of course. There's no crowd, but still being at LAN, just being here, it's really fun. And yeah, I've been having a really good time just playing here.
Yeah, I mean, I get to hear like what you guys are discussing, and it seems like you are having a lot of fun. Next map is going to be Dust 2, a map that you won yesterday against Big. Did that win kind of give you confidence to actually pick this map?
Yeah, definitely. Big is one of the best like Dust 2 teams. They are always like picking it as their map pick. So we knew they like had a lot of stuff on Dust 2, and us beating them, it was really good for our confidence. And coming in, I think, yeah, we'll do pretty well against GODSENT.
Great answer. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Hi, good to see you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. Perfect. And we're all set here. Should we kick things off?
Live in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the ESL studios, actually, and we're here to learn a little bit about observing today. I'm joined by none other than Alexander Rush. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
So tell me, observing, it's the new craze. What's it all about?
Yeah, it's you know, observers. They like work in tandem with the production team and the casters.
The production, the casters. Now the casters, they are the top dogs around here, aren't they? So well known in the area, and someone like yourself, who's perhaps a little, you know, unknown, they're giving you a chance to shine out there, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Don't worry. Take your time. Just try and explain a little bit about the role, and we'll get there.
Explain about observers. You know, you like work. Well, they work with production.
Don't worry. Let's run it back a little bit. In terms of the production, what do you actually do?
Well, me.
Hi, I'm Rush. I have a 12:30 with you.
Rush?
Yeah.
Well, who's this then?
This guy? Someone irrelevant. Get him out. Security.
No,
You got it, boss.
Please, someone must know who I am. I'm here every day. Every day.
Wait. Get him out.
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera for a moment.
Oh my God.
Here.
Why they all been on me? No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. I don't comprehend and I do not pretend, cause when I'm coming it's to win. No guts, no glory. Not a part of my story. I'm going hard for that trophy. It's why they all been on me. No guts, no glory. There's no need to go begin. not pretend, cause when I'm coming, it's to win.
Wake up, put the work in, that's the only way it's gonna work out. Hard work and dedication, no time for procrastination. Takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of heart mixed with motivation. On the days that you're feeling down, look in the mirror for your inspiration. Like, woo, just notice, never stop, never quit. People wanna see you doing good, but never better than
Team Liquid looking absolutely brilliant on map 1. Ancient. I'm assuming they run at a pretty low temperature, those Liquid boys, because they had ice in their veins over the course of that first map. And GODSENT, no, they were not looking like they were sent by the gods. They were sent straight to hell. 16-4. That is a tough pill to swallow, Blair and Alan.
It was a dominant affair coming in from Team Liquid here, especially the second half. They kind of closed it out without really making things look even competitive. But that first half, honestly, that scoreline, you know, even though it was 11-4 for Liquid, let's be real, a few of those rounds they were fortunate to get. I think Shox is very instrumental in them stealing a few rounds away from GODSENT. So if GODSENT, again, these are all ifs and buts here for me personally, Alan, but if they'd managed to get a couple of those rounds going their way in the first half, they won the pistol round in the second half, maybe you could have seen a different result.
Yeah, early on in that first half, they lost out in the Force by War, and as we're talking about all the time in the green room, on a map like Ancient, it's almost an old school nuke status where if you're losing out early on both halves economically, it is so tough, and especially on the T side, to grind out any gun versus gun rounds can be really difficult. And as we're talking about during this game, players like Elige against OC, Shox as well for good measure, mid, late, and even early round for some of these players, they were just brilliant and overall outplaying GODSENT just by a tiny part, as kind of Blair mentioned. It was a fairly back and forth first half in terms of frags, but late round seemed to be all Team Liquid.
When Elige came into Team Liquid, 7 years ago, the anniversary was recent. I saw it on Twitter. There was a lot of hype behind him, and honestly, since his introduction, I think he's kept a very good level of form, and we're seeing that now. On the new side of things, OC, and now on the first map today, he's firing off too.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are the two players we didn't want to touch upon in the beginning of the game, right? Obviously, Elige and OC, the two players we did speak about, but I want to actually talk about, again, Henny and OC, the two primary operas. OC popped off, so did Elige, and OC over 100 ADR. I think he had like 20, 23, 25 kills almost, barely dying at all. Henny, on the other hand, struggling a bit. That being said, there's a caveat that he did it start off on the T side, right? So not really having too many opportunities. I'm going to give credit where it's due to. For GODSENT, they won 3 opening duels out of the, 19 rounds they played right there. But the trading was so very on point. So some good signs, some glimmers of hope there.
Yeah, some of the set rounds were nice, but as we're saying, the kind of star power trio, Nafly, Elige, OC, when they're all playing brilliantly on a CT side of a map like Ancient,
so hard.
It's just so difficult. And even if Taco was making brilliant calls, as you mentioned, if you're just losing out with too many of the opening duels, getting those rounds close, let alone winning them, is just an absolute nightmare.
Alan, you mentioned NAF. I'd like to officially announce that NAF is the first ever official professional Counter-Strike hostage player. Because what happened in the second half, Pistol?
This was the bomb getting planted, a 5v5. And a 5v5 retake, it can get really messy, but GODSENT do a fantastic job, especially Lado with 2 opening picks. But witness the chaos that unfolds on a bomb site.
Absolute madness is about to ensue here. Multiple GODSENT players trying to stick the bomb. NAF comes through the smoke, spraying away. What's happening here? And absolutely typical
Look
Ancient.
Look at this. NAF jumps through the smoke. A beautiful strafe jump. A bunny hop. He uses Taco as a hostage, as a meat shield, and then fires off, gets the frag, and then finishes off Taco.
I gotta give. I feel like on this particular map, a lot of autonomy was given to the individuals of Liquid to do whatever they wanted. Shox, obviously, we also heard that he's been doing a lot of talking in the game, in the server, alongside Nitro as well. And he's been just lurking around, winning rounds pretty much by his lonesome. And again, over here, NAF, I mean, if you're entrust a player to pull off a round like that, it has to be someone like Naf.
Yeah, and on the shocks front, obviously yesterday we saw Mirage, standout best map for him. Ancient here looks good, and I don't think this is any mistake. They're both maps where he's given a lot of space, especially on the CT side. As we saw here from Shocks, when he's allowed to play out of Jaguar, kind of juggle between mid and that B lane side and really play off feeling and kind of intuition, that's when you see the best Shocks, not when you pen him in to really kind of slow, anchoring, static anchor positions, which maybe he does on some other maps. So maybe a rethink might be required on some others.
And that's why they picked him up.
Feeling and intuition, Alan. Where are yours leaning for Dust 2, everybody? Is it 2-0 for Team Liquid?
I am sticking by my predictions. I feel Liquid's going to make this a quick 2-0. We might be out of here by 8 p.m.
Yeah, my GODSENT prediction was predicated on winning that first map, so unfortunately I'm going to have to switch it fully. Liquid 2-0.
All right, Blair and Alan.
A flip-flopper at the best.
Alan's allowed to do that. All right, this is the night shift. Anything goes. My analysts think it's going to be 2-0 in favor of Team Liquid. Let's not forget, Team Liquid just took Ancient, which was GODSENT's map pick. So me personally, I'm leaning towards my analysts. All of you at home, take a think, take a guess, and we'll see you shortly.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades.
Stay rush.
Nice. Nice.
Doors, not looking at us. I'm going for this.
Nice.
Inside.
Yeah, I see him.
Going.
Oh, I can reach him in the hole. Oh no. How have you managed that?
I didn't know you could get stuck here. Did you know you could get stuck
I
here?
had no idea. Alright, should we see if this works?
Yeah.
Oh, saved. Oh. One more.
Yeah, hold on.
Strafe.
He's looking at us.
Okay.
I would have
Everything is
bumped it,
saved.
takes up. Parachuter bird coming in. Commander.
Guy on top of the tower parachuting up as well. There's so many parachuters.
We're gonna try and pluck him out of the sky. Oh, he's got a shotgun!
shooting at me, but I don't see him.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the trees.
Yeah, he's down, I'm good.
Out of the... Oh!
Perfect. How about that one?
That's pretty nice.
Impressive performance. Thank you in advance.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second map is coming up. Now we've got GODSENT versus Team Liquid here at ESL Pro League. And this is going to be hopefully a little bit of a redemption for GODSENT, even though this is actually Team Liquid's map. But we're going to be on Dust 2. Didn't work out the way that they wanted on Ancient at all, Maui.
A lot of the rounds for GODSENT look competitive, but they weren't quite good enough. And that's what matters in Counter-Strike. Actually completing the objective, getting it done. Liquid, on the other hand, looked fantastic. And yesterday, versus Big, on this map, they look good too.
And we were surprised by that because Big is a team that played us 2 super well. So we were kind of expecting probably that Big would maybe even win that map entirely. Oh, that's nice. Always good to get those headshots for the smoke, although Ladder was going to get overpowered down in the pit. OC able to pick up the kill. So 4-on-4 for the minute. Nitro, yeah, he's got him out in the open, putting on some pressure and finding the headshot. And down the middle, Naf, he's holding it. We didn't hear a lot from Naf on that first map. On the second one, starting well with a double kill, and Nitro comes swinging back in. And they clean up this round real nice on the side of Liquid.
That was a great push from them. What's cool to see about Nitro is that you got 2 kills there. Nitro's a guy that got brought into this team for leadership's sake, to help be a glue guy, to help manage emotions, personalities, and he just outdueled Henny, a guy that's brought on his team for firepower.
Yeah,
it's pistol round. It's a pistol round. Not getting ahead of myself or anything, but
no. But I think that has been one of the really exciting things about seeing Nitro back here is that he actually looks like he's staying really competitive, even just on the mechanics of the game.
Yes,
he's got a lot of firepower behind him already. Oh, I'd love to see it. You want it to work so badly. The taser, though.
Not quite. Not quite this time, Dumao. But yesterday, versus Big, one thing that I really loved about Nitro is that it wasn't necessarily the entry fragger, because sometimes on Dust 2 you just don't get the best spawn, but anytime he had to push on forward, mostly long A is what comes to mind, he was good for a couple of kills. If there was a flash for him, he was getting up there. Kind of harkens back to the days when he was the entry fragger for Liquid, when he was popping off at some of those ESEA lands. That's when Nitro was a very sharp individual.
And he had some moments yesterday when he was holding that pit long position on the CT side of this map where he was kind of facing off against almost the entire Big team and could have called in some backup, but you could tell he actually had confidence to do it on his own. He actually sent a couple of times, sort of sent shocks away and said, you know, don't worry, don't really need you here, and it worked out all right. So yeah, it seems like he's got the confidence for it. Liquid, they avoided stacking the A-bomb side this time. Not too much to talk about on that front, so they're gonna be fine in this round. And GODSENT will have to wait a little bit longer before they can start to really have an impact on this particular map. And obviously OC on this map is going to be a force to reckon with. Between him and Henny, yeah, you want to see Henny have a really huge output for this to be even competitive, you have to assume.
I simply love the fact about OC that when we watched him versus Surson, there were more memorable moments from Surson.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong about that, but OC's consistent output round to round was higher, and he was the better opper in the server by the end of it all. That's something where, once again, it's this flashy sort of opping style that has captivated the attention of a lot of the Counter-Strike audience with people like m0NESY, but when you look at OC, I wouldn't put him on the same level as m0NESY today, but I don't think it's as drastic of a comparison as others may think.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. I think that consistent AWPing is just, it is a quality that's a little bit, if people underestimate it, they don't notice it, or they don't remember it after the game is over. It's like, yeah, okay, we're not seeing the same flicks. This is actually pretty impressive here. 3-on-3, fighting to try and get away. Henny A lot of Molotovs raining down, but he's going to put all of them out with one single smoke, trying to see if he can get the shots through, but Nitro able to find the better angle for the headshot. Oh, hold on. Dumao, is that an attempt to basically play a really deep mind game and occupy a position where a teammate just died? But you have to get there unspotted, otherwise now it just feels kind of like you might have dug your own grave, although wow. Does take down Neff. Follow-up smoke from a teammate. Oh, this is such a close round.
I don't think Nitro can justify going for that swing. Red HP, no way. So he's going to want to escape right now. Elige might have an idea that both of these CTs are here right now. I don't think Barton's completely given up his position. No, he definitely hasn't if Nitro's coming back right now. But either way, Dumao, yeah, he wanted to reclaim this space by car, but he was spotted in that process. And now Liquid, without much utility, it's tough to flush him out. They basically just have to bang him out with an instant headshot.
Yeah, shoot for the car if you need to. It's totally doable. Glass does allow for a lot of damage to go through, and those windows, you could see the material differences there. Taking down Dumao, but ooh, Barton, yeah, more health from us. He was in position. Good round from GODSENT. They come back into it already in the third round. That's huge.
It looked like it was a pretty good long take at the beginning from Liquid, but Dumao reinserting himself into car and finding 2 kills. It was a bold play. It was probably meant to be a mind game of sorts, trying to find a timing to sneak into there, but either way, he finds 2 kills, and sometimes things don't go as planned, but if they have the same results and he overperforms like that, then no credit to him.
OC with that AWP. Worried that there might have been a third man there to try and take a late swing against him. Naf, he's close. He jumps the corner with the MAC-10. I think that's a high chance that he wins that fight another time, especially with another flashbang maybe behind him. They're trying to get out long, and the bomb is out there as well. But it's a pretty solid defense. Elige is up on Catwalk, the only one maybe that could help to break this up at the moment. But they're kind of slowing it down.
The smokes are right there at the foot of Nitro. Boost over. Shocks is coming up right now. Oh, almost both teams are trying to boost right now. Taco, he spots him out, and he still keeps going for it. Nitro takes his head off. Lado's right there to find the trade, though, and Shocks falls. Elige is all the way on the site, though. He's made it so deep, but how do Liquid even want to play around this? They're thinking about pressuring towards middle, but they're sending the bomb up Catwalk. That's a wise choice from Nitro, and OC will be able to cut off the rotations with this op positioning.
What a crazy round. I can't believe they kept boosting out as long as either. It looked like that was a big mistake for Taco there. Missing the shot as OC. Nade onto Nitro, and he's down to 3 health. He needs to find a safe spot to be in. And good news for him. They don't have any more nades on the CT side currently, so at least he doesn't have to deal with that. A little bit of an attempt at setting up a flashbang here, but they have a pretty good position, Liquid. With that ult, they could make it work. Elige gets 1, keeps tapping, picking up a second, but he's on his own, and they're going to find him. Barton right on top. And that's another round for GODSENT. They're fighting hard to win some of these early rounds.
Yes, they're scrappy ones at that. Elige did so much in this round. The way he was able to sneak up on a Catwalk, the 2 kills he found late there in the post plant, but it wasn't enough. GODSENT, they held very strong. That long positioning, despite the fact that Elige was able to dispatch those players, it just put so much pressure onto that bomb site. Made the angles that Liquid could play, it really just took a lot away from them. This was such an interesting interaction around the blue bin. Both teams trying to boost simultaneously. Don't see that too often.
It's very awkward to begin with, having 3 members of Liquid even standing out by that contender to begin with. It's just that the whole thing made me uncomfortable. But GODSENT are going to be excited about this. They've not really managed to carry any money forward so far, but that's like a secondary objective. Just winning the rounds is probably fine for now. But this is a chance for them to do that, so hopefully they're going to be able to. All of them down the middle here, Liquid. Deagle's in play, so you never know what could happen. Taco's kind of holding it, ready for a B-split, and he's in a pretty safe position back here. It'll be real hard to find him.
No, he's playing very passively, very safe. Liquid don't want any business with this, though. They came out mid to support Elige's pick towards the window, and unable to find anything, they reroute. This is the contingency plan for Liquid, and it's being combined with a mid to B fake. This is nice. This should definitely draw the attention away from the Catwalk. And oh, Shocks, he just passed Taco. Doesn't get the better of him, though. Taco's able to recover. This is a nade ready to stop the plant. A little early, though, and that should allow Liquid safe passage onto this site. OC will be getting that bomb planted in just a moment. The molly comes out, but just a second too late. And at this point, Liquid, they're in a post plant. It's not likely to actually net them around, but any damage is good damage.
Yeah, should still be doable here. Molotov still on Barton. That one grenade could make a big difference. Henny goes down to Elige. Oh, they throw it right away. I thought they would have saved that Molotov maybe for the catwalk, just in case. OC with a good shot. Barton gets one and a big double there. That might just be what they needed. It's going to be Lado to close out the round. Man, I was getting a bit nervous then because they didn't have many nades. If Liquid could have escaped back to the catwalk, they maybe could have held it for a while. No more smokes or anything in play here, so that could have been dangerous. But ultimately, or maybe Lado picked up a second one at the end. But still, it's a round for GODSENT here. 3-2 in their favor. They did suffer some more casualties than probably they would have wanted in this round.
I think that's job done. More because of Liquid constructing a pretty nice cat take. A lot of teams are very straightforward with this. They just throw the Xbox smoke, a rail smoke to gain some extra space, just force the plant at all costs. But a little bit of a layered approach from Liquid. The fact that they go for a fake mid to B, combined with the fact that Elige was going for that middle pick earlier, that was, oh wow, okay, we're already into the thick of things. Double kill from the B players on GODSENT side.
Liquid wanted to test that B defense, which is, I mean, that makes sense, right? We're in the 6th round. At some point, you'd like to know if they're going to be a little bit asleep over there. They definitely weren't. 5 versus 3 now. What is it? What's a good call in this kind of? You tried something, it didn't work. You feel like the round, you know, if this is a matchmaking game, you say round's over, we've lost already. But professional game, probably not so much. So what's a good call now?
I'd say the 2016 call would have been just send the op-up cat, contact play, just clear the angles out one by one, and hopefully you find an entry into the bomb site. Nowadays, people have been sometimes throwing a combination of the rail smoke with the corner smoke, and that can give you a series of one-ways that you can actually approach the bomb site a little bit more safely with. But sometimes teams just call for a save, and I think Liquid might be exercising that option.
Yeah, they lost another player before they even really got. I guess they wanted to do kind of what you were saying. They wanted at least to get a catwalk to have that control, right? But
without that, there's just not any feasible option, though.
GODSENT looking very disciplined at the moment. This is their first real chance to build some money on their side, so I don't really blame them for not wanting to go out and hunt and search for too much here. Probably worth it to just stick around. So kind of a quiet end to the round, but still good job. GODSENT about to be 4-2. I think that's impressive. That's especially on the CT side of this match. Sometimes I think can be a little bit tricky,
especially given the fact that this one was a flawless round. In fact, every consecutive round that they've won, 4 in a row now, they've had more players alive. First one 1v1, second one 2 alive, then 3, now 5. In fact, they have to start spawning players if they want to continue with this trend.
Yeah, it's a technology that we haven't seen yet, but you know what? I don't even know if it's in the rules. If you find out a way to do it, maybe you just have to get away with it.
Yeah, we'll see what the ruling is on that one.
OC quick with the AWP, got the spawn for it. Wanted to see if he could test them a little bit here. Get some shrapnel for his efforts, at least for now. Bit of a jump, and there's a nice peek again. Not necessarily a flashy shot, but he did get the job done. He's ready for more, and that might just win the round. They're not even they're already running in the pit. They're saying, all right,
that's it. That's it. Double kill from OC. Round-winning play. Just barely dodged that flash, too. Sort of fortunate with his angle, sort of unfortunate for GODSENT that they don't throw a more precise flashbang. Works both ways. But that is the OC impact. And again, I mean, those two shots, they weren't super easy, but he just positions himself exactly where he should be to get the kills.
So valuable. I mean, what a luxury.
There's almost something more impressive for operators that can make the game look this easy for me. Because this is replicable, and it means that if the game comes to you this easy and you don't have to hit those hard shots, you're going to be relevant in the space for a very long time.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's obviously this kind of thing you can try and avoid if you wanted to. GODSENT could have been more careful, smoking a Molotoving or whatever. That's fine,
Sure.
but he probably has a bunch of those plays up his sleeve, OC, over the span of a whole game on Dust 2. So really good stuff. Holding it here, trusting his teammate to clear every other angle on that left-hand side. So Liquid getting around just based off a couple of kills. Interesting stuff. Ooh, double up down the middle. Gotta be real careful here. One of them already showing himself, OC on the other side. Definitely on alert once he hears that shot ringing out. So far, no one wants to challenge him, at least not straight up. Setting up. If the hinge smoke comes in, we've seen quite a few attempts to wallbang that immediately. None this time.
But it gives safe passage for Liquid up Catwalk. They haven't been afforded this sort of position on too many rounds thus far, but they want to combine it with a long play. And Latno's here and waiting. OC will aid NAF in clearing this position out. The question for Liquid becomes, how do they get the bomb back towards Catwalk? They do have a few smokes, but you'd probably want to use those in order to take space towards the bomb site itself. But instead, they actually just shift the numbers over. Move Nitro towards long, and OC, he'll be helping set up this late long take. Should be a corner smoke and a flash over the doorway.
Lado is probably the key to this round. If he can stand tall out here and defend this a little bit, it might work out. But he goes down, and Henny now has basically to hit every single shot, and with the flashbang going off in his eyes, it's not going to be possible. And you can see now they're just falling like dominoes on the bomb site. Taco going down next. No chance for anyone to help each other out. There's no... I mean, if Lado gets a kill, Henny can probably swing back, and then they have a crossfire that could be established afterwards. But instead, they just go down one by one.
I'm just fixating on the fact that OC smoke was actually a top long smoke. I know some teams have used that lately in sort of the tier 2-3 space. I haven't seen it in a tier 1 game for a minute though. That's cool, and it's something that was actually pretty prevalent back in 2013 and 14 for late long takes, and people kind of moved away from it and they just favored the solo flash through the double doors and just a pop out with a couple players. But that's cool. That's a nice little insurance policy from Liquid, and something to take note of if you want to do a late long take for any aspiring pros at home. Hey, future pros, check out that smoke.
Always something to learn and to add to the arsenal. Nitro, great entry on that one. Really impressive stuff. Yeah, and this is just it's a miserable position to be in, especially, I think, if you're Henny playing that long position and you suddenly have to try and adjust. Oh, round starts with OC down the middle, taking down Taco, trying to see if they could do some damage with a scout down there. They're still trading it back and forth, but OC is super quick.
Super fast. Speed demon.
Yeah.
Oh, good flash. Elige. Oh, Dumao had the taser again. Nice try.
He managed to get to at least make a bit of lightning down there.
Yeah. He's really committed to that cause.
I can respect it.
I think I've seen 3 tasers from him in the last 2 days.
It's because you just know it's going to be worth it if you can, at least mentally, for your own sake. Like, yes. Got him. Barton is holding the B bomb site on his own with a scout, now walking down the middle. Even if he got that headshot, it wouldn't really change the outcome of the round on any level. Lado is going for a bit of a flank, but again, it's just a P250 coming in from that position. Not much that he really can do here. Oh, he's so confident. You know what? We're going to go fight it. So Liquid are back in the lead now. Going to be 5-4 in their favor.
Yep, nice clean anti-eco for them. Small clap comes out from the Liquid side of things. GODSENT might have to change up the formula here. Might have to put emphasis on a new part of the map. There's a lot of new plays that you can do with this rework of Dust 2. We did see one right there, a guy jumping into lower immediately. We'll see if GODSENT want to risk something like that on a gun round though.
I haven't seen them pushing upper dark from the V-bomb side either, so it's definitely, even in the standard realm of things, some stuff they could try out. Oh, OC again, opening it up. Last time it was on the B-bomb side, winning the round, but this is super impressive, and he's going to find that shot on Ladder as well. What a terrific beginning here.
Battle Opper OC.
Yeah, throw him in. Just throw him in. No parachute needed. It's going to be Henny and Barton holding on the other side. Dumao is kind of checking if he keeps going. Could be a nasty surprise if he runs into Shocks, who's holding that stairwell.
Unfortunately for Dumao, if he pushes anywhere, Liquid players are watching their flanks. So he would just have to win a duel on a player that's holding him. But the other GODSENT players, they're expecting the late long play. They're already primed and ready for it. This could be a pivotal fight. Shocks, turns away. At the same time, Liquid, they're pressing on forward at long. Should be a flash coming out from OC. In fact, it's going to be a molly onto Henny. Henny does have a smoke to put it out.
Yeah, but it has to get him off the angle, right? Ooh, up close, Barton gets traded in OC. He's not missing anything right now.
That's so well done. That's so well done from Liquid. Just so methodical.
Yeah, it looks like something they practiced hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yes.
Well-oiled machine. 30 seconds. Dumao's kind of got into position now, but he's still got the trouble of playing 1 versus 3. Shocks is walking down below him in CT spawn, so he's in a lot of trouble, and I don't think he necessarily realizes exactly where Shocks is, so very, very hard to adjust for. 15 seconds on the clock now, throwing grenades at him as well. Yeah, pressure is all over, and Shocks will find the kill on him at the end. And that's another good round. A little bit expensive for Liquid, but I don't think they care, and money is going to be out for GODSENT, so they're marching back into the game, winning 4 in a row.
Liquid are doing such a good job in creating pressure by just sitting around. GODSENT there were holding that long position for such an extended duration, and then Liquid still just put together the best possible way to clear out the angles. Very nice to see. It's tough to play against a team that does stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting, kind of a subtle weapon to have in your arsenal, the ability to call for a freeze for a long time and just having the pressure built on the other side. Very frustrating. It seems like it shouldn't be hard to just wait, but yeah, it can feel like you're doing nothing, feels like you're doing something wrong basically on the CT side sometimes, right?
That's why you usually see people thin out their numbers, go for aggressive pushes, and the thing is, Liquid were playing to punish that entire time. Oh, good flash, though, from GODSENT. Very nice setup from Taco. Barton is able to find Nitro, and Elish can't quite connect with Barton, but he will be challenged by Taco, and Taco wins out the duel.
Even looked like Elish kind of was pre-aiming that a little bit, or at least had his cross in the right position, so probably a fight that he wins almost every single time. Although Taco did have some body armor, so at least the aim punch wasn't necessarily going to ruin his day. 4 on 3, still perfectly winnable on the side of Liquid. One more headshot from a deagle could instantly change the odds. They're doing it again, though, slowing the game down, taking their time. They're all grouped up, so they can kind of afford 2 nades. Landing in Barton. I don't know if he's going to be burned out quite, but they are all around him. He's not finding a lot of real estate back there, and the flames will finally consume him. OC, the one to get the credit for it. Dumao and Henny now 2 on 3, and Liquid, yeah, just slowing it down like that, it seems to be paying off really well for them.
Dumao will still be prodding for something. Shocks doesn't seem to expect this. So now it's suddenly a 2 on 2. Range game isn't going to be favoring Henny, though, only wielding a P250. Naf considering that lower option, and Naf just goes for the swing. Wow.
They're confident right now.
I gotta say that Liquid are doing a really good job in segmenting the map out on Dust 2. They've done it now 2 rounds in a row. They had some space towards long, and then they put together a really strong play in order to dislodge those players that were just around the corner. This time they had that cat control. They knew exactly how they wanted to use their utility and take space towards that bomb site. It's very impressive to see this from a team that a month and a half ago, essentially just put it together. Just put this roster together.
And I mean, I guess what GODSENT did here is one of the tools to try and disrupt what Liquid are trying to do, sort of getting a pop flash in during the setup phase of a round. So if you can do that, that'll take some of the tools away for Liquid, right? But they only had pistols that round, so the effect just wasn't felt nearly as much. But I think it's a cool idea for I like that from GODSENT. So also why I mentioned earlier the upper dark push.
Right.
Another attempt to try and say, let's make sure they don't feel so confident, because it really feels like right now, if you give Liquid catwalk or long at the moment, they're gonna win the round behind it.
Yeah, you're almost doomed. You're almost just doomed. Once they have that sort of space, they just put together a good exec or a good finisher, and that's a that's not going to bode well for the future of GODSENT, because once again, we're in a 5-on-5, and Henny, this is the only catwalk defense we're seeing from GODSENT right now.
Molotov not really designed for his position. He can stick around. Flashbang, though. Always good to have more contingencies if you're going to be making that angle so that you don't get down by the AWP.
All right, we'll see if our theory's true. Liquid have catwalk. Oh, but they are going towards long. It looks like they're favoring the single pop flash of the doors.
Ooh, very important kill there for Lado. At least going to buy some space. Henny also gets one with the AWP, but he's inside of the bomb site on his own. He has to get a little bit more. The bomb, though, is kind of stuck out there, so they have to go challenge it. Missing a shot, but getting the follow-up. Elige goes down. That is a big kill for Henny. Might be asked to do a little bit more out in the open. What an awkward battle. And it gets even worse. I think the bomb dropped down. Naf coming in from the middle, and what a spin. Barton turning around. That was lightning fast. And Liquid finally going to fail at it. GODSENT finding a 5th round. Man, that was close.
Yeah, I think at the same time that long engagement began, there was a bit of a cat engagement too. There was fights in 2 spaces at the same time. GODSENT threw a little bit of chaos into the mix here, but this is a nice hold from Lado, have to say. The molly's there to try to force him back, to make things pretty difficult on him, but Henny, he survives with 1 HP in this fight with Elige.
Oh,
wow.
Right.
That's tough. But Nav even had the flank here. Oh, okay, that's quick. That is quick.
Incredible save. Ooh, and I like this. Henny, you mentioned this earlier, that he didn't feel like they were using him in the way that he was really sort of designed to be used. That's what you meant, right? That's what you want to see.
You gotta see him going for picks like that. If you're bringing in a primary opper, you gotta trust that he's gonna be finding kills in ways that those players that you had before that are more comfortable just holding the angle, hitting the easy shots, they're not going to come up with those, but Henny's a guy that has a proven track record of being able to do that. It's nice to see him be able to thin the herd early.
Oh, this is a cool call there. Very, very quickly for Liquid. Kind of a pace change for them. Right into the B bomb site. Nitro, another good opening, and Dumao, he can't really survive this. Yeah, there's nothing he could do. They're coming in from upper dark as well at the same time. Flashing their way through OC. Probably a shot that he could have hit, but either way, this is a very hard round to win in terms of retaking it. I GODSENT. If they get a kill right now on Shocks, maybe it's worth it, but it's going to go the other way. Timing is impeccable. There's no chance here.
I can't believe Shocks just walk peeks into that angle. If he dies, this becomes a doable retake for GODSENT all of a sudden, but either way, he wins the fight, and yeah, I think you nailed it, Anders. The fact that it was a quick pace change from Liquid, that's everything. Man, Shocks still just being very annoying to play against. Just hanging around, just finds a three-piece, and he wasn't even that involved in the site defense. I mean, he just instantly went to lower after they had it.
Do you think that call is basically based off of sort of the nature of the crime that Henny was committing in lower dark? That they have some sort of mental image of the idea that he's going to get that peak and he's probably going to run back long. So if we walk out middle, we do the double smoke and Molotov towards CT spawn, and we just go for it seemed like if he was holding CT spawn instead or anything like they would have probably lost another player even getting there.
If he was in the B window,
yeah,
they would have lost that round potentially. So that's a little bit of a read coming out from Nitro, whether that's prep on GODSENT in particular or just reading how Oppers likely rotate in general. Either way, it's a very strong call from him. That kind of there's a good information game, and there's a lot to unpack about that sort of decision-making from Nitro, and it's pretty cool to see that he has sort of that foresight into how a round should play out based off of where an Opper is likely to move.
Because that looked very, very well designed, like almost like they knew, all right.
Snap call after that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to see, because we've been praising them again for the slowing down of the pace and everything, but if you can add another dimension, which is obviously that one, it's going to be scary. 8-5, 14th round here. Not that many weapons on the side of GODSENT here, trying to defend with some deagles in play. They need some really quick defensive kills right here. Oh, actually, Liquid. Okay. They realize this fight has already taken maybe 5 seconds longer than we wanted.
Liquid are happy about that, though. 2 smokes burned in the first 15 seconds of the round. You'll take that. The defense is now very weakened in terms of utility.
And they already didn't have a lot, so...
There's no more smokes. That's it. It's it's essentially all on Henny.
Yeah. He either has to go find a kill or cross his fingers and hope that he's going to end up in the right place at the right time. Shox does take a lot of damage in Upper Dark, and he's going to fall back down towards the middle instead. Lado's out long. If he goes down, then I think Henny's chances drop almost to 0 at that point in time. So, and I think that's been true for a lot of this long A defense, is a lot of it has been on Lado to try and hold his own. It's a pretty tough... Oh, what a flashbang. Takes him down. Like I said, now Henny, he's going to have to face way too many players. This is not impossible, but bordering on being 30 seconds. Oh, Shox letting one pass. That's interesting. Taco's gone down in the meantime, and they're waiting Liquid even with 20 seconds left. They're just adding so much pressure. Now showing the gun barrel. Absolutely bullying him, Howie.
Elige right there knows that sometimes the best thing to do is just stay alive and maintain that pressure. It's exactly what he employs against Henny right there. Makes it so difficult. Dumao's doing a good job to inflict some damage here, but the round is over, and Liquid came up with a very nice pinch onto that A site. You could see the pressure in that moment. Everybody's been there when you just know you're getting collapsed on, and the guy that you want the fight from doesn't give it to you. It's so infuriating.
If only he could have put like a sock with like a poorly drawn face on the tip of his gun to like just stick it out from the wall.
Just to add even more insult.
Actually, it's so funny. You just see the gun barrel and Henny's like, can you at least just peek so that I have it? Like, at least give me the chance to do something.
I know.
He's just not getting it.
Yeah. Peek me, please. Okay. Oh.
Nice.
Taco just ran through that smoke at the corner. Finds Elige, but there's a fast cat play going on for Liquid right now. Good molly to slow these players down, but Nitro still takes out Henny at Goose. Presses on forward, but he knows he doesn't have to face entirely. Okay, he's still just going for it. There was a flash setup from OC. That's well done on the fly from Liquid.
Doesn't have to, but he really wants to. Also, the way that he peeked Henny in that corner, doing that crouch crab walk spray is really annoying to deal with. Because if you miss a shot with that AWP, you're dead instantly.
Yes.
So, not a good time. 4 on 3. I'm a little bit surprised that Liquid even got into this position. It seemed like this A hit originally from catwalk wasn't looking that good. But right now, they're in a prime position to try and get to 10 rounds. Shox just has to stand up and look over this. Oh! Barton finding him instead, sees the helmet, takes him down, and he's going to follow it up. Excellent retake work coming out. OC on his own, 1 versus 1, and real low on health. Dumao on the other side shoots him through the box instead, but he doesn't have the defuse kit, so it's going to be the round for Liquid anyway. 10-5 at the end. And what a gut-wrenching start here for GODSENT on the second map.
Love how Liquid changed up the pace there at the tail end of that half. We'll see if they keep up the speed going into the second half after the break.
Shox, can you clutch? 26 and counting. Bomb as a kit. He's got an angle for it. He has to run it down. Covered once, needs the bullets, needs it, done it, got it! It's Shox crunches up.
A virus, but we call it the antidote. It's an answer to silence. The future is here to revolt.
Welcome back, everyone. 10-5 in the first half. Second map here, Liquid doing really, really well. It almost seems too good to be true. A little bit of a rough start at the beginning of the year, obviously with the change, with the roster change and everything else, but this is a North American dream right now.
To see a North American team playing this brand of polished CS, Anders,
yeah,
it's everything that we wanted for the NA fan base. There hasn't been a lot to celebrate lately. We'll see if Liquid gives us something here. Nice. 4 for 1. Just down to Lado.
You peek that corner, you're peeking 3 people, but they're all at different elevations. It's not a good time.
It's like the classic VP on Cobble.
Yeah, it really is. Gonna try and flash his way into it, but they're just all there. Naf is making sure he can't escape. What a miserable position to be in.
There's not a lot he can do here. He has to hit some shots incredibly fast. It looks like he's looking for a P250. I don't know if there's even another pistol around, but...
Either that or he's mourning the death of his teammates. I'm not really sure.
Paying his respects.
Entire squad is down at that.
Whole squad down bad.
Incredible scenes.
I had to do that.
Oh, 11-5. Yeah. Oh, there's not. This is not even precision. They're
just spamming.
Yeah, fish in a barrel. You're gonna hit something eventually.
Yeah, it's like they're in a pillbox, just all firing out of one little hole. Not a lot you can do. But okay, Liquid. Cool little idea to get themselves the pistol victory here. I don't know what the idea will be for GODSENT in this round. 5 clocks, Anders.
No, but I've 5, all of them with burst fire.
Make it a laser.
Yeah, just try and, like...
15 bullets are better than 5.
Yeah, quantity over quality, right? You just try and you brute force that problem.
Is that how you live through life? Quantity, quality, or are you a quality over quantity guy?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I want to say probably my whole life probably can't be boiled down to that, but I guess quality probably, to be honest. But
I think that's the mature choice.
Maybe it is.
It's the mature choice.
And in Counter-Strike, I don't touch the burst fire at all ever. I don't think I've ever even got any kills with the burst fire. I think.
There we go. There we go.
But I still think they should do it.
Yeah.
All run boosts, those are always funny, especially with Glocks. Chance of success, practically 0. Oh, all right. There's a little bit of a start. In terms of the acrobatics of it, that's like an 8 out of 10 in terms of range.
Yeah, that was a good run boost. Look at the distance on that one.
Nice.
I think that would qualify for an Olympic record long jump.
I think it would. Why don't we have that, actually? Why don't we have...
There should be a long jump competition. That should be a side content piece for sure.
Yeah.
Like the 2-man long jump test.
Yeah, try and see if you can get... How far can you send someone?
Yes. Someone get on that.
12-5. GODSENT have picked up rifles here. And some pretty good rifles against the 2 MP9s, maybe especially. So there is a chance here to get back into the game early on. Although I think the comeback, again, we talked about it, we were pretty optimistic on Ancient. In the second half, they could have done it. It's different on this map. It'd be real hard to make up that 12-5 difference here.
Oh, well, Shox is stuck right now. Oh, he makes it out, and he can't complete the kill. What a shot from Elige. From downrange, snipes Henny. And Liquid want to keep up the pressure. Elige is still fighting there, Nitro around the corner, and that leads to their demise. Barton says, you shouldn't be testing me like that. And he has been a bright spot for GODSENT on this map. This round is as good as over as long as GODSENT walk into A. They just aren't sure yet.
They're not quite there yet, but they're slowing it down. Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? I feel like, especially now that Henny's on the lineup, because Henny and Taco, in terms of name brand, just suck up so much of the energy.
Yes.
Barton's probably a little bit easy to overlook, but the last couple of days have proven that's probably a big mistake.
Oh, yeah. Barton has been a guy that's been tearing up the Premier space, ESL Challenger space for a minute in North America. Once he got added to this project, I think a few more people learned his name, but yeah, he's been a very strong piece for this roster. Plays a few more of the anchor sort of positions. Would say sometimes those poor, the weaker lurking spots, not the fun ones, but the ones where you just kind of have to hold. The one Rops somehow gets a 1.2 rating from, but everybody else fails to even find a 1.0 at.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are the ones Barton does.
I'm going to be bored for a long time, or I have to try and basically win this round 1 versus 3.
Yes, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Exactly.
Oh, nicely done. That's a sick recovery in this round, because GODSENT were, if they'd have lost that round, it would have been probably not possible to really make it back. But now, I don't know, 12-6. It seems a little bit overpowering, but not a lot has to change for this to be made up. What a great fight.
That looked great from his perspective.
Yeah. Elige, by the way, who was obviously doing very well on the first map, he's back at it again, 24-12. These are going to be some of the best maps out of Elige that at least I remember for a while.
Yes.
And I think he's been playing well overall, but this is obviously a level above.
Especially factoring the level of competition. He did do well at the NA RMR, but this is a...
Go on.
That's different. That's just different. It's just different.
Oh, they're walking through the smoke. I like this. They're going to be exploding onto the bomb site. This is going to be hard to hold. Barton, he gets the opening, but Naf follow-up spray, half blind the whole way through, turns it into a triple, and he really wanted to buy a little bit more time there. Dumas will take him down, but still, Naf able to put up a solid defense after the fact. Dumas going to spin around and take down Elige. And it's going to end up a 2-on-2. The bomb is kind of lost to them at the moment. It's between the two players. Nobody wants to move and actually pick it up because it's so out in the open.
Oh, that's really tricky. OC throws the lurk smoke out of the double doors right now. He could be popping out of either side, but Lado still holding this angle. Dumas gave that up, but they still are aware of the fact that Liquid could be pressuring from that side. And it's nice to see that Nitro does that, given the fact the bomb is in the middle of the open. He knows how much pressure that creates for these GODSENT players. But finally, they're going to be retrieving it. 30 seconds remain, and Nitro, he's joining up with OC at the double doors.
Really, no grenades left on anyone right now, so even getting through the window or the door could be a bit tricky. Looks like they're going to try and see if they can double up on that door position instead. Lado's covering the one position. Dumas all the way at the back of the site, so if they take Lado, it's possible. Great entry. Nitro, he's been so on point with the mechanics, and he gets the headshot. Taking down Dumas. He's lightning fast. He made that look so easy. That is not an easy retake at all.
That is some sharp shooting from Nitro right there. That was very swift. It felt like Lado couldn't even peek. He couldn't even move out of that backside position. But this is the NAF special. 3K side hold, all body shots.
Yeah,
only NAF things. Only NAF things.
So efficient. The fact that it's 20 bullets is not even a downgrade from him. He doesn't even care.
Oh man, Dumas got deleted.
That is unfortunate because that was a really good setup for. I like the whole idea of walking through the smoke and getting the surprise. They got the entry, GODSENT, so if not for Naf and that 3K, they probably just win that round. I don't even think Liquid try and go for any kind of a retake. So I think the whole foundational idea of that round from GODSENT's point of view is all them.
Yes. That wasn't poorly played by GODSENT whatsoever. Nitro, at the end of the day, just hit some sick shots.
How do you like this?
Liquid are doing a really good job of being proactive. This can get you into trouble if it's too much across the map, but we see that early mid pressure into a retake long with 4 players worked out perfectly. They have so much space. They threw GODSENT in for a loop in terms of the information that they lost in this round, and now they're retaining map position towards long, despite the fact that they put all their eggs in a mid-push basket early on.
I mean, going 4 long like that, or at least 3 of them deep long, is the kind of play, obviously, if they go for a really fast mid to B split, you're way out of position. But it is somewhat unlikely, so I guess they're just saying, yeah, you know what, doesn't really matter if you spend the first 20 seconds doing this, because they're probably not going to do anything. Speaking of seconds, it's only almost 30 of them left, and then now bringing the bomb out long. I actually hate this from GODSENT. I think this could really end badly for them. Nitro with a double spray, just waiting behind the smoke, and now we're down to 20 seconds. They can't win the round any longer. This is just so crazy. I don't know why they wanted to wait this late, and another headshot. The newly returned North American hero.
Captain America.
Yeah, truly.
He's back from cryostasis.
It's woken up.
Yes.
I think this is... There's a lot that I don't like about this. Think about the way that we spoke about this Liquid when they're on the T side, how they would use that deep long smoke set up from outside. They would have flashes, but they would have Molotov spot. There's a lot of tricks and tools to open that fight long, and GODSENT say, how about we just walk in front of the smoke and see if we can...
Yeah, let's just hope we find a timing that's... Yeah, it's a lot less creative, a lot less imaginative, and therefore probably just less protocols than what we saw from Liquid. And Liquid now just back off. They had such an active previous round. This time, it's a very standard setup for them. Couple players towards long, couple players in B. It's affording GODSENT a lot of space, and GODSENT are probably a little bit surprised that they're even finding so much. But it looks like GODSENT's objective in this round has to be the plant for Cat.
Yeah. Get that down. If it's one of those Magic Deagle rounds, then we'll have a follow-up conversation. All right. Not quite the flick there, but Elige doesn't get down at least immediately. Bart's in there. Actually, a nice find. Not even the Deagle, but the P250 instead. Tapping away is Nitro. And OC, while all this is happening, is just... They're trying to duck down to avoid the AK, and that makes them slow for the AWP. Lado on his own, and he's going to be going down 15-6 now. And the Liquid's well on the way to winning this map 2-0. They had a 2-0 yesterday or against in every which way. This is looking impressive.
In the second half of both maps, GODSENT have only achieved a single round. It's been Liquid doing an excellent job of closing these maps out. We'll remark on the fact that that little corner rail smoke did such a good job in creating crosshair disruption for the long player. That was Nitro.
Yep. Man.
This is a very tough situation to be in for GODSENT. Plays you've been running on gun rounds haven't really been working. The only round that they have found was off the back of Liquid probably overstaying their welcome towards middle just a few rounds prior to this. And it doesn't seem like Liquid are keen to make that sort of error again. They've been proactive in ways that have exemplified teamwork along with a wealth of ideas.
Yeah, it's actually that right now the Stradbook looks deep on this map, and again, that's usually the thing that takes the longest to try and develop with any new team. So it's exciting to see. Elige down in lower dark, and OC is up on the catwalk next to him. Not that they can actually help each other out too much. Gonna jump down. Good trade for Barton. I think that's probably still worth it. And OC, it's probably the expiration date on how long he can stick around here for before he has to worry about top mid, but he's pushing it as long as he can. Oh, he's got shocks there as well, actually, so maybe he can stick around.
Oh, wow.
Dodging the flashbangs and hitting those AWP shots. Henny will take down shocks on the other side, though, but not bad. 3 on 3 now. Dumao trying to sneak in. If he could find Naf, he almost had a chance to find him out in the open there, I think, but now he's stuck back down to the... Oh, we didn't see that.
Timing.
That is...
Naf, that jump up is not always advisable, and Naf somehow catches the perfect time to get the kill. Now, Henny, he's just struggling to find any impact in this series, and he'll have to find some if they want to have any chance in this round. Lado's going for a solo walk play into the site with the bomb. If he falls, then Henny's simply left out to dry. And Naf, he is lodged into this car. Such a strong angle. And Nitro already on the flank to find Henny.
Classic, yep, he spotted him, so there's not much to do here. Henny, no time and no teammates or anything. It's gonna be Mr. Ohm providing the resistance to take down the last player, and that's it. One map on Dust 2 for Team Liquid, a 2-0 as well to take down GODSENT. Super, super impressive stuff. This is the kind of Liquid we just want to see.
Incredibly convincing stuff. And on top of that, we saw so much individual ability flexing for the side of Liquid. Nitro had some great rounds. Shocks with so much impact. And OC is making some people believe. It's good to see.
Absolutely impressive all work coming out from him, yeah. The future of FNA Counter-Strike right here, if I do say so. It's looking good for the start of the year. Exciting stuff. We'll be back with more, of course, analysis and breakdown after the break.
I think the style that we're going for as a team is like a style where we can be dynamic, where we can be slow and fast. So a team that comes to mind is like Outsiders, where they play super slow and they kind of thrive like with sub 30 seconds left in the round, and like that's kind of just what they're going for in each round, it feels like. Whereas like if you play a North American team besides us, I feel like most teams want to just end the round like really fast, and they're like super quick with how they think, and that's just how they are, and that's how they approach the game. So I think the style that we're going for right now is we want to just have both styles. We want to have our slow game. We want to have like our set strat game, you know, which would be usually like in the beginning of the rounds. So I think that's just the main style that we're striving for right now.
Thinking, moving, touching, and well, all of the other things, all of the other pieces that you need to compete in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Welcome back to CS Psychology 101. Today, we're going to be going over a very important subject. XXX Heyman 420. In 2012, he had a 4K 1D clip that really was overly edited by an equally talented friend. Now accumulating only, and I mean only, 1,372 views over 8 years. The taste of success that followed led to the creation of the monster that we now know as the Movie Fragger.
Clip it, baby. This one is going viral. Top 3 Reddit easy. Zai Wu, Zai Whom, or like it. Check out this shit.